Chapter 762. The spirit fish was extremely sensitive to spiritual items. Under her lead, Yi Chen Feng and the rest discovered quite a number of spiritual herbs that were tens of thousands of years old in the ancient land of North Sea. Slowly, they arrived at the depths of the ancient land of North Sea. The energy in the air was getting more and more violent. The chaotic energy was like electric waves that constantly drilled into their bodies. Young Master Yi, the core region of the ancient land of North Sea, is in front. My instant ancient mirror, dragon egg, and white tiger skeleton were all obtained from there. The King of Massacre pointed at the space that was constantly distorting and filled with destructive storms as he spoke. Senior, that should be the energy that you use to suppress the evil soul, right? Yi Chen Feng released his soul spirit and probed it. He discovered that the space in front was filled with a powerful suppressive energy and asked with his heart, "That's right. That is the space that I use to suppress the white tiger evil soul. The white dragon skeleton, golden tiger skeleton, and white tiger skeleton are all in there. However, tens of thousands of years have passed, and there must be many changes in there. Once you enter, you must be extremely careful." The mysterious soul spirit warned sternly. Yi Chen Feng nodded and held the Emperor Heaven sword tightly as he led the group into the space of suppression. Rumble. As they approached the space of suppression, the destructive storm of death swept through the heaven and earth. It was like a huge army rushing towards Yi Chen Feng and the rest. Let's work together to tear apart the storm of death and rush over. Yi Chen Feng didn't waste any time. He executed his sword steps and rushed over with sword Dao patterns flashing. He relied on his absolute offensive power to tear apart the storm of death. The King of Massacre, Fu Qingshan, and the rest followed closely behind him and used all their skills to attack. The four of them worked together like a divine sword that could slice through the heavens. They tore a huge hole in the terrifying storm of death and rushed into the deepest part of the ancient land of North Sea, where they entered the space of suppression. Once they entered the space of suppression, the overwhelming storm of death disappeared and was replaced by a suppressive energy that made them feel extremely uncomfortable. This suppressive energy was like a mountain that pressed down on their hearts, making it difficult for them to breathe. Yi Chen Feng took a deep breath and tried his best to disperse the influence of the suppressive force on him. He asked telepathically, "What a strong suppressive force. Senior, do you have a way to weaken the suppressive force's influence on us? This suppressive power will affect you and the evil soul even more. Therefore, blindly weakening the suppressive power will only put you in greater danger," the mysterious soul said. Rumble. While Yi Chen Feng was communicating with the mysterious soul, the ground beneath their feet suddenly shook and cracked open. A large furry hand tore open the cracks and crawled out from the ground. The black gold ape king, the overlord of the demonic beasts in the ancient North Sea. Looking at the ape in front of him that was more than 10 meters tall, its entire body was covered in thick, dark, golden fur. Its arms were like pillars supporting the heavens. Its eyes were as big as bronze bells, and its long fangs were exposed. The King of Massacre immediately recognized it. This was the most terrifying demonic beast in the ancient land of North Sea, the Dark Golden Ape King. Its battle power was comparable to a level 4 beast emperor. "Human, it's you again. You snatched the ancient instant mirror, yet you still dare to come here?" The Dark Golden Ape King stared at the King of Massacre with its blood-red eyes. It opened its bloody mouth and spoke in human language, its voice resounding like thunder. Obviously, when the King of Massacre entered the ancient land of North Sea, they had an intense conflict. It was very likely that the ancient instant mirror and the dragon egg were snatched from its hands. And there's something wrong with this Dark Golden Ape King. When Yi Chen Feng saw the Dark Golden Ape King, his powerful God-eater brain sensed that there was something strange about the Dark Golden Ape King's mind. It was as if there was an evil soul hidden inside. "I didn't kill you last time, but this time I will definitely kill you." As he spoke, the King of Massacre summoned the ancient instant mirror and continuously poured his soul power into it. He controlled the mirror to shoot out a powerful instant mirror light that attacked the dark golden ape king. Roar! The instant mirror light that had an extremely strong, penetrative power attacked. The dark golden ape king let out a ferocious roar and waved its furry fists to meet it head-on. With a single punch, it shattered the terrifying instant mirror light and launched a fierce attack towards the King of Massacre. Sky-piercing spear, mountain-shattering. While the dark golden ape king and the King of Massacre were engaged in an intense battle, Fu Qingshan and the spirit fish acted at the same time. They attacked the dark golden ape king from both sides, jointly suppressing its ferocious attacks. Evil soul! I can feel the power of an evil soul in the dark golden ape king's mind. When the King of Massacre and the other two were fighting with the dark golden ape king, the mysterious soul felt the aura of the white tiger evil soul in its body. It was precisely because of the white tiger evil soul's power that the dark golden ape king could rely on its own flesh and blood to withstand the attacks of the ancient instant mirror and fight against the King of Massacre and the other two. As expected, there's something wrong with this dark golden ape king. After confirming his senses, Yi Qinfeng revealed a serious expression. The fact that the white tiger evil soul could control the dark golden ape king's attack meant that part of its soul had already broken free. It was not far from breaking free, and all of this should be because of the disappearance of the 9 dragon jade wall suppression. Vermilion bird cauldron, suppress. With a thought, Yi Qinfeng summoned the vermilion bird cauldron, which was blazing with red flames, to suppress the dark gold ape king. Screech! The moment the vermilion bird cauldron suppressed the dark golden ape king, a high-pitched bird cry rang out. The vermilion bird soul had awakened at this moment and appeared in the vermilion bird cauldron, increasing its power and suppressing the dark golden ape king's body, restricting its mobility. God's shaking fist. Although the spirit fish had the bloodline of the golden-eye divine ape flowing in its body, it did not show any mercy to the dark golden ape king in front of it. It stomped on the hard ground and blasted out a doomsday-like God-shaking fist on the dark golden ape king's chest. With the sound of bones breaking, the dark golden ape king was severely injured by the spirit fish's punch. Its sternum was shattered, and a large amount of blood spurted out from its mouth. Break! While the dark golden ape king was injured, Fu Qingshan held the quasi-Dao artifact purple lightning snakehead spear that Yi Qinfeng had given him and pierced it towards the dark golden ape king's heart. Then the Dao intent of spear and Dao intent of light shot out from the tip of the spear and pierced through the dark golden ape king's bloody chest, attacking its heart. Roar! Roar! The dark gold ape king was completely enraged by the heavy blow to its heart. It let out a series of earth-shattering roars, accompanied by a terrifying soul power that exploded out from its strong body. It blasted out in all directions, forcing Fu Qingshan and the spirit fish to retreat. Vermilion bird cauldron, smash it! Yi Qinfeng's mind moved, and the vermilion bird cauldron smashed down ferociously. It was like a boiling hot meteorite as it smashed into the dark golden ape king's head. At the same time, the King of Massacre also controlled the ancient instant mirror to attack the dark golden ape king's head, wanting to explode its head in one fell swoop. The dark golden ape king's head was continuously hit. Although it did not explode, a large number of cracks appeared, and fresh blood spurted out. Yi Qinfeng and the others could clearly feel the aura of the evil soul in its mind. Lowly humans, you are courting death. A ferocious and violent voice rang out in the dark golden ape king's mind. After being hit repeatedly, the evil soul hidden in the dark golden ape king's soul, C, was also damaged. This completely enraged the dark golden ape king, and it burned a large amount of soul energy and surged into the dark, golden ape king's body, instantly increasing its strength. "We don't know who will die yet." As he spoke, the scarlet thunder orb, frost orb, and black demon scissors flew out of Yi Qinfeng's body under the control of his mind. They surrounded and attacked the dark, golden ape king, who was roaring and attacking in a frenzy. At the same time, the Chaos Divine Beast and Golden Clear Dragon Bloodlion also appeared and attacked together. Under Yi Qinfeng's multitasking and controlling the 4 great Taoist treasures, as well as the ferocious attacks of the King of Massacre and the others, the dark Golden Ape King's attacks were suppressed once again. Its huge body was bleeding profusely. Finally, the violent dark Golden Ape King's huge body shattered under the ferocious attacks of the group, revealing the evil soul hidden in the dark Golden Ape King's soul sea. It looked like a mini white tiger. 30/30709 mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 763. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Suppress the Soul. When the mini white tiger evil soul was exposed, Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the vermilion bird cauldron to suppress it. However, the white tiger evil soul reacted quickly and dodged the vermilion bird cauldron. 8 godly ape shadows. The spirit fish's body moved like a shadow, blocking in front of the white tiger evil spirit. He punched out with a force of 45 million genes, hitting the white tiger evil spirit. Facing the spirit fish's unstoppable fist attack, the white tiger evil soul trembled violently. It didn't collapse, but its speed was greatly affected. Then the ancient moment mirror and Fu Qingshan's attacks landed on the white tiger evil soul one after another, trying to destroy it. "Lowly human, how dare you use the ancient moment mirror to attack me? I will kill you first." Relying on its powerful soul to resist the attacks of the ancient instant mirror and Fu Qingshan, the furious white tiger evil spirit flashed and appeared in front of the King of Massacre. It wanted to enter his soul sea and corrode his soul to take back the ancient instant mirror that was under its control. At the crucial moment, Yi Qinfeng took the sword steps and blocked in front of the King of Massacre. Furthermore, he was still holding the squirming soul devourer's brain, which was a fatal threat to the soul. Sky demon chains seal the space. When the white tiger evil soul got close and Yi Qinfeng threw out the soul devourer's brain, 3 black, dragon-like chains broke out of his body and sealed off the white tiger evil soul's escape route. In the next moment, the soul devourer's brain and the white tiger evil soul clashed together. A terrifying devouring power was released from the soul devourer's brain and seeped into the white tiger evil soul. No, what is this thing? Although this strand of white tiger evil soul was terrifying, it could not withstand the devouring of the soul devourer subbrain. In less than 3 breaths of time, half of the white tiger evil soul was devoured by the subbrain. This made it fearful and desperately struggled to escape. Do you think there is any meaning in this pointless struggle? Yi Qinfeng controlled the vermilion bird cauldron to suppress the space, not giving the white tiger evil soul a chance to escape. After another 2 breaths of time, the white tiger evil soul was completely devoured by the soul devourer's subbrain and became its nourishment. Your brain is too terrifying. Even in the heaven domain, I have never seen such a treasure. Seeing the soul devourer child brain easily devouring the white tiger evil soul, the mysterious soul was full of praise. If it weren't for the fact that it was about to disappear, it might have some thoughts about the heaven-defying soul devourer child brain. Let's go. Let's continue forward. After the chaos divine beast swallowed the black gold ape king's beast core and the golden clear dragon bloodlion swallowed its heart, Yi Qinfeng didn't waste any more time. He continued to lead the group forward. They kept tearing apart the distorted space and slowly approached the place where the white tiger evil soul was suppressed. Wait, there's danger ahead. Yi Qinfeng and the group endured the suppression power and passed through the distorted space. After half an incense stick's worth of time, his powerful soul sensed the dangerous aura in front of them, which was covered by the black mist. He couldn't see what was real or fake, so he immediately warned them. Evil soul, I sense the white tiger evil soul's aura in the black mist again. It seems that without the 9 dragon jade wall suppression, the white tiger evil soul has thought of a way to break down the soul and find a way to escape. The mysterious voice sounded in Yi Qinfeng's Sea of Soul. Actually, the white tiger evil soul's method of escape is the best opportunity for us to eliminate it. Once we destroy part of its spirit, its soul power will be greatly weakened, and it will be much easier to eliminate it. Yi Qinfeng transmitted his voice to Hui Yuhao. After saying that, he burned his dragon bloodline and transformed into his most powerful beast soul form. He summoned the vermilion bird cauldron and was the first to rush into the black mist that covered the sky and the sun. Roar, roar, roar. The instant Yi Qinfeng charged into the black fog, a high-pitched, ear-piercing dragon's roar suddenly rang out. A white bone dragon with a body over 3,000 meters long, made of white bones as sharp as divine swords and dark green eyes appeared. It twisted its enormous body and blocked Yi Qinfeng's path. This is the white dragon skeleton. That evil soul is actually controlling the white dragon skeleton. Yi Qinfeng revealed a serious expression as he looked at the white dragon's roar. It was exuding a thick aura of evil and death. Even though the white dragon was already dead, the dragon's power within its skeleton couldn't be underestimated. Coupled with the terrifying evil soul's control, it wouldn't be easy for Yi Qinfeng and the group to destroy the evil soul and obtain the white dragon skeleton. More importantly, the white dragon skeleton was the key to suppressing the evil soul. Now that the white dragon skeleton was controlled, it meant that the evil soul wasn't far away from escaping. While hesitating, the white tiger evil soul controlled the white dragon skeleton to launch a fierce attack at Yi Qinfeng and the group that had barged in without permission. The white dragon skeleton, which was as sharp as a sword, whipped fiercely at Yi Qinfeng and the group. Mountain crumbling. As the dragon tail lashed out, the spirit fish, who was brimming with fighting spirit, suddenly took a step forward. Her strength and soul power surged crazily as they poured into her delicate fist. She then threw a punch at the powerful and abnormally sharp white bone dragon tail. Boom! The spirit fish's fist and the white dragon's tail collided. The spirit fish's fist, which was filled with 45 million kilograms of strength, shook the white dragon's skeleton tail like a tidal wave. However, the white dragon skeleton was too terrifying. The strength of the white dragon's tail far exceeded the spirit fish's. The spirit fish was sent flying by the tail, and a large amount of blood spurted out from her mouth. Spirit fish. When Yi Qinfeng saw that the spirit fish was injured by the white dragon skeleton, he didn't hesitate to spit a mouthful of essence blood into the vermilion bird cauldron, awakening the vermilion bird soul and increasing the attack power of the vermilion bird cauldron to suppress the white dragon skeleton. At this moment, the King of Massacre and Fu Qingshan also launched fierce attacks at the white dragon skeleton, wanting to suppress it together. However, the white dragon skeleton was too terrifying and the dragon skeleton was too difficult to destroy. The attacks launched by Yi Qinfeng and the others couldn't break the dragon skeleton at all and injure the white tiger evil soul hidden in the dragon's head. And if they couldn't break the indestructible dragon's head, even if Yi Qinfeng controlled the soul devourer's brain, he couldn't devour the white tiger evil soul. Roar, roar, roar. After blocking the attacks of Yi Qinfeng and the others, the white dragon's skeleton hummed, forming a realistic dragon's roar that shook the void. It attacked Yi Qinfeng and the others with earth-shattering momentum. Caught off guard, Fu Qingshan, who was a grade 6 reverse beast king, was sent flying by the dragon's roar. Cracks appeared on his extreme heaven-grade battle armor, and large amounts of blood seeped out from the cracks, dyeing his body red. As for Yi Qinfeng and the others, although they relied on their absolute defense to block the dragon's roar, their blood and qi were surging. Divine Ape Body. When the spirit fish saw that Fu Qingshan was injured, she ignited the golden-eyed divine ape bloodline. Her petite body continued to expand, transforming into a divine ape body that was several meters tall. With a berserk aura, she launched an attack at the white dragon skeleton. After transforming into the divine ape body, the spirit fish's strength increased again, and the power of its inherited skill was even greater. With a punch, it seemed to be able to shatter a mountain. Even space was distorted. However, such a terrifying attack still couldn't cause any damage to the white dragon skeleton. As the spirit fish was too close to the white dragon skeleton, it was once again sent flying by the white dragon's tail. It directly fell out of the black fog, worsening its injuries. Blood River. Use the sky demon rope to restrain it. The white dragon skeleton's combat power was beyond Yi Qinfeng's imagination. When it sent the spirit fish flying, Yi Qinfeng and the King of Massacre both condensed the sky demon rope and bound the white dragon skeleton, forcefully restricting its movement. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng summoned the Supreme Saint Treasure, the 9-dragon jade annulus. He continuously spat his blood essence into the 9-dragon jade annulus, awakening the saint artifact spirit and increasing the 9-dragon jade annulus power to deal a fatal blow to the white dragon skeleton. 30/30709 mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 764. 9-Dragon Jade Wall Destroy. Yi Qinfeng, who had spat out a large amount of blood essence, shouted with a pale face. He controlled the 9-Dragon Jade Wall to attack the white dragon skeleton that was tearing apart the 6 sky demon chains. At Yen. Although Yi Qinfeng could only unleash 1/10,000th of the 9-Dragon Jade Wall's power with his current strength, the 9-Dragon Jade Wall was still a supreme saint treasure. It was an incredible treasure even in the Qingyan realm. A berserk dragon, formed from boundless energy, flew out of the 9-Dragon Jade annulus and continued to grow in size. It carried with it an intimidating dragon might and ruthlessly bombarded the white dragon skeleton. Boom! A sound like a meteor exploding rang out. The white dragon skeleton was attacked by the wild dragon formed by the 9-Dragon Jade Wall. Its huge body was sent flying, and a large number of cracks spread across the surface of the skeleton. The white tiger, evil soul hidden in the dragon skeleton, was also injured. It let out a painful and angry howl. 9-Dragon Jade Wall, it's actually the 9-Dragon Jade Wall. That old bastard actually gave this dragon's supreme treasure to you. Seeing the 9-Dragon Jade annulus in Yi Qinfeng's hand, which looked like a divine dragon soaring in the sky, the white tiger, evil spirit hidden in the white dragon's skull, let out a furious roar, wanting to retreat. It had been suppressed by the 9-Dragon Jade Wall and the Tower of Massacre for countless years. It was instinctively afraid of the 9-Dragon Jade Wall, but it also had a trace of greed. If it could obtain the 9-Dragon Jade Wall, it might be able to use this saint treasure to be reborn in this new world. Blood River, attack the white dragon skeleton with all your strength and destroy the white tiger evil soul. Although Yi Qinfeng's soul beast was extremely powerful, and his soul power was close to the peak of rank 2 combat beast emperor, using the 9-Dragon Jade Wall consumed too much of his soul power. After the attack, Yi Qinfeng's soul power was almost depleted. His body was severely weakened. PFFF, PFFF, PFFF. The king of massacre spat a large amount of blood essence into the ancient instant mirror and controlled the Gudao treasure to attack the white dragon's skeleton continuously. It wanted to kill the white tiger evil soul through the cracks in the skeleton. Roar! An angry dragon roar rang out. The white tiger evil soul that was heavily injured did not continue fighting. It immediately controlled the white dragon's skeleton to dodge the attacks and escaped into the black fog. Where do you think you're going? The white dragon skeleton suddenly fled. Yi Chenfeng, who had consumed 2 heaven recovery pellets, roared and summoned the golden clear dragon bloodlion. He rode on it and chased after the white dragon skeleton with all his might. The king of massacre, the severely injured spiritual fish, Fu Qingshan, also rushed over at this moment, following closely behind Yi Chenfeng. However, the deeper they went, the stronger the suppressive force in the air became. The strength of Yi Chenfeng and the others was affected, and the soul force in their bodies became slower and slower. Just as Yi Chenfeng was about to catch up with the white dragon skeleton at an astonishing speed, he used sword steps to attack. Suddenly, the white dragon's skeleton disappeared into an illusory space, its huge body mysteriously disappearing. Ancient array! Yi Chenfeng's powerful soul sensed the power of the ancient array in the illusory space and immediately stopped chasing. Senior, did you leave behind this ancient formation back then? Yi Chenfeng sensed the murderous and destructive aura coming from the ancient formation. He sensed a strong sense of danger and asked, "No, this ancient formation has nothing to do with me." The mysterious soul replied, "Could it be that this ancient formation was set up by the white tiger evil soul? It has such a method." Yi Chenfeng raised his eyebrows slightly, and there was a trace of seriousness in his voice. "It should be its doing." The mysterious soul said, "I really underestimated this Jin Qing white tiger's methods. I didn't expect it to be able to set up such an ancient formation after being suppressed for so many years. It is weakening the suppressive force bit by bit. In the future, it might really be able to borrow the power of this ancient formation to break free. It seems like we really have no way out. Once it breaks free, we will all be sinners." Yi Chenfeng took a deep breath and said firmly, "Junior, do you need me to help you break this ancient formation?" The mysterious soul asked. "No need. Senior, save your strength to launch a fatal attack on the white tiger evil soul. Leave the matter of breaking the formation to me." After saying that, Yi Chenfeng summoned 108 formation flags, which revolved above his head, forming a slowly rotating offensive formation in the air. "What? You want to use the formation to break the formation?" the mysterious soul asked. "And I want to try." With the evolution of the God-Eater brain, Yi Chenfeng's attainments in formations had deepened by another level. He used the God-Eater brain and the 108 formation flags he plundered in the early stages to lay down the 100 slaughter formation in the air. Blood River, Spirit Fish, Third Uncle Fu, pour your soul power into the 100 slaughter formation. We will activate the 100 slaughter formation to break this ancient formation. The moment the 108 formation flags formed the 100 slaughter formation, Yi Chenfeng and the other 3 continuously poured their soul power into the 100 slaughter formation, increasing its offensive power. With a large amount of soul power, the 100 slaughter formation emitted a peerless killing light that penetrated the black fog, illuminating the entire space as if it was daytime. 100 slaughter formation. Use the formation to break the formation. The power of the 108 formation flags was completely awakened. Yi Chenfeng controlled the 100 slaughter formation to smash into the ancient formation, releasing an endless amount of peerless killing light that attacked from all directions. Facing the attack of the 100 slaughter formation, the ancient formation emitted the roars of dragons and tigers. A large number of god-beast phantoms appeared within the ancient formation, colliding with the peerless killing light. For a time, all sound between the heavens and earth was swallowed up. The terrifying power of the formation ferociously collided, forming a terrifying shockwave that constantly exploded within the ancient formation. Countless stones were shattered, and the space was torn apart. The violent storm shook the entire space, and the entire suppression space trembled. What a terrifying power! This formation inheritance definitely originated from the heaven realm. After seeing the 100 slaughter formation's offensive power, the mysterious soul couldn't help but be moved. He increasingly felt that Yi Qin Feng was not simple. There was definitely a heaven-shaking mystery hidden within him. Otherwise, it was impossible for him to rely on just 108 formation flags to form such a powerful formation. The two peerless killing formations crazily attacked each other, setting off a torrential storm. The God-Eater brain's power radiated into the ancient formation, rapidly deducing and searching for the formation core. As long as the formation core was found, the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus offensive power would be able to destroy the ancient formation that the White Tiger had spent countless years to lay down. Time slowly passed. Very soon, a day had passed. The 4 people didn't hesitate to pay any price. They continuously poured their soul force into the 100 Slaughter Formation and the White Tiger Ancient Formation. As for the White Tiger and White Dragon skeletons within the Ancient Formation, they had suffered considerable damage. However, because of the 2 peerless killing formations, the suppressing strength of the Ancient Formation had been weakened to the extreme. The White Tiger evil soul that had been suppressed for countless years could break free at any time. Formation core, the formation core is there. In the fierce battle, the God-Eater brain's rapid deduction finally locked onto the position of the ancient formation core. In the next moment, Yi Qin Feng soared into the air. The 9 Dragon Jade Annulus with 9 dragon runes appeared around his body. He used all of his soul force to control it, condensing it into a wild dragon that shook the world. It submerged into the ancient formation and bombarded the formation core. Bang! A heaven-shaking explosion shook the heavens. Under the attack of the wild dragon condensed from the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, the ancient formation core was broken. Visible cracks spread out from the ancient formation core, quickly spreading to the surroundings. The ancient formation core's power was also broken. It rapidly declined, unable to resist the attack of the 100 Slaughter Formation. Finally, the 100 Slaughter Formation released a peerless killing light that blasted through the ancient formation. The White Tiger evil soul had spent countless years to lay down the ancient formation, but now it was broken. 30/30709 mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record your reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 765. Lowly humans, you actually broke my White Tiger clan's tiger-killing array. After the ancient array was broken, a cruel and ruthless voice sounded from the bottom of Mount Meru. The terrifying voice was like muffled thunder, reverberating in the ears of Yi Qin Feng and the others, causing their eardrums to tremble slightly and their souls to tremble. Everyone, hurry up and recover. Then we will fight the White Tiger evil soul to the death. Yi Qin Feng, who had completely exhausted his soul force and was extremely weak, quickly swallowed 2 heaven-rank soul pills with extremely strong recovery abilities. He sat cross-legged on the ground and quickly recovered his expended soul force. Roar! While Yi Qin Feng and the others were trying their best to recover, angry tiger roars sounded one after another. The terrifying sound shook Mount Meru, causing it to tremble violently and be filled with cracks. The White Tiger evil soul that had been trapped in the North Sea for countless years was about to break free. The atmosphere became tense and oppressive. Soul Devourer's brain go. After using the Soul Devourer art to refine the powerful medicinal power, Yi Qin Feng recovered part of his soul power. Once again, he split the Soul Devourer's brain from the Soul Devourer's brain and approached the white tiger evil soul that was crazily attacking Mount Meru. Then the soul devourer's brain released a powerful devouring power, devouring the white tiger evil soul's soul and weakening its power. No, what is this? Being devoured by the soul devourer's brain, the white tiger evil soul showed a terrified expression, let out a cry of alarm, and desperately tried to resist the soul devourer's brain. Child brain, come back! Although the soul devourer's brain was a fatal threat to the soul, the white tiger evil soul was too terrifying. Under its crazy attacks, the soul devourer's brain was continuously damaged. Left with no choice, Yi Qinfeng called back the heavily injured soul devourer's brain. Lowly humans, I swear I will tear you apart. I will make you pay for your stupidity with blood. The white tiger evil soul that had a small part of its soul devoured by the soul devourer's brain roared angrily and continued to attack Mount Meru that was suppressing it. However, after being attacked by soul devourer's brain, the power of the white tiger evil spirit was greatly affected. It was unable to break through Mount Meru and escape in a short time. Seizing this limited time, Yi Qinfeng and the others quickly adjusted their breathing and recovered. When the soul devourer's child brain was repaired by the cortex prime, Yi Qinfeng once again controlled it to attack the white tiger evil soul, weakening it as much as possible. Lowly humans, I want your lives. The white tiger evil soul was completely enraged as its soul was continuously devoured by the subbrain of soul devourer. It spared no effort in splitting its soul into two parts, drilling into the white tiger skeleton and the white dragon skeleton and controlling them to attack the subbrain of soul devourer. Senior, quickly eliminate the white tiger's remnant soul in the white dragon skeleton. Then we will work together to eliminate the remnant soul in the white tiger skeleton. Once we eliminate its two great remnant souls, we will be able to deal a fatal blow to it. Yi Qinfeng summoned the brain of soul devourer back and transmitted a message to the mysterious soul. All right, leave it to me. As the mysterious soul spoke, it turned into a beam of soul spirit light and shot towards the white dragon skeleton. It directly entered the dragon's head and attacked the white tiger's remnant soul. Ah, old thing, you actually came as well. It seems like you were the one who instructed all of this. The remnant soul in the white dragon skeleton was forcefully dispersed by the mysterious soul. The white tiger evil soul was immediately injured and let out a painful roar. Let's go and eliminate the remnant soul in the white tiger skeleton. Yi Qinfeng didn't waste the perfect opportunity to severely injure the white tiger evil soul. He, King of Massacre, and the others tore apart the suppressive force in the spatial zone and approached the white tiger evil soul, attacking it with all their might. Buzz! 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 Yi Qinfeng took a step forward, and tens of thousands of swords shot out simultaneously. The concentrated sword Dao pattern surged and attacked the head of the white tiger skeleton. King of Massacre, Lingyu, and Fu Qingshan also attacked at the same time. They attacked the tiger's head and wanted to shatter the tiger's head to create an opportunity for the subbrain of soul devourer to devour. Just as the white tiger evil soul sensed danger and wanted to call back the remnant soul in the white tiger skeleton, the mysterious soul controlled the white dragon skeleton and entangled it, not giving it a chance to fuse with the remnant soul. Soon, under the attacks of the white dragon skeleton, the head of the white tiger skeleton was shattered. Yi Qinfeng struck out with the subbrain of soul devourer in time and forcefully devoured the white tiger's remnant soul. Old thing, I swear I will eliminate you. After the two remnant souls were eliminated, the white tiger evil soul let out a painful roar. Its soul power was getting weaker and weaker. Junior, summon the 9-dragon Jade Annulus. We will take this opportunity to eliminate the white tiger evil soul. When the mysterious soul saw the white tiger evil soul being severely injured and suppressed by the Mount Sumru, it immediately shouted at Yi Qinfeng and the others. All right. Yi Qinfeng nodded and summoned the 9-dragon Jade Annulus. In the next moment, The mysterious soul drilled out of the white dragon skeleton and re-entered the 9 dragon jade annulus. It burned its soul power to increase the attack power of the 9 dragon jade annulus. It was ready to deal a fatal blow to the white tiger evil soul and eliminate it. Everyone, get ready to attack together with the senior. Yi Qinfeng summoned the sword puppet and the 2 mythological beasts, and was ready to attack together with the 9 dragon jade annulus. Forbidden Sky Dragon Mountain, open! The mysterious soul roared and forcefully opened the dragon race's inheritance restriction that it had set up with the help of the 9 dragon jade annulus and the massacre pagoda. A surge of soul power that made Yi Qinfeng and the others shudder instantly spread out. Through the gap of the restriction that was gradually getting bigger, Yi Qinfeng saw a pair of bloodshot eyes that were even more dazzling than the stars. They were flashing like the cold stars and made one shudder. Roar! 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 3 earth-shattering dragon roars rang out from the 9 dragon jade annulus. Under the control of the mysterious soul, 3 ferocious dragons drilled out from the 9 dragon jade annulus. They entered the Forbidden Sky Dragon Mountain and dealt a fatal blow to the white tiger evil soul that had been suppressed for countless years. Emperor Heaven Sword Art, Emperor Heaven Shocking Slash. Sky Demon Dance in all directions. God Shocking Fist. Heaven Piercing Spear. The moment the 9 dragon jade annulus attacked, Yi Qinfeng and the others, the sword puppet and the 2 mythological beasts, also attacked at the same time. They blasted into the Forbidden Sky Dragon Mountain and bombarded the white tiger evil soul. Roar! 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 After receiving consecutive fatal attacks, the white tiger evil soul let out a painful wail as cracks appeared in its soul. Old thing, one day I will make your dragon race pay a painful price. With its soul severely injured, the white tiger evil soul let out a furious roar and rapidly burned its soul. It wanted to break out of the encirclement and escape. There won't be such a day. As it spoke, the mysterious soul used its last bit of energy and poured it into the 9 dragon jade annulus. It formed 3 apocalyptic dragons and bombarded the white tiger evil soul. The terrifying power directly shattered the white tiger evil soul. Junior, it's up to you now. After using its last bit of energy to deal a fatal blow, the mysterious soul became extremely weak and could no longer control the 9 dragon jade annulus to attack. Don't worry, senior, it will die. As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng rushed into the white tiger evil soul's explosion area with the soul devourer's brain in his hand. He controlled the brain to devour the shattered soul. Lowly human, I will destroy you first. The white tiger evil soul was extremely tenacious. After receiving several heavy blows, it still didn't die. When it saw Yi Qinfeng rushing towards it with the soul devourer's brain, it immediately controlled the terrifying soul to break into Yi Qinfeng's soul sea, wanting to destroy his soul and take over his body. It's not certain who will die. Yi Qinfeng coldly snorted and said, Soul devourer, soul devourer. No, who are you? After being devoured by the soul devourer's brain, the white tiger evil soul that rushed into Yi Qinfeng's soul sea was terrified. It wanted to tear apart his soul sea and escape. However, its soul was severely injured, and the soul devourer's brain was more powerful than the soul devourer's brain. Yi Qinfeng endured the splitting headache and controlled the soul devourer's brain to devour the white tiger evil soul. Soon, the white tiger evil soul that had been suppressed in the ancient North Sea for countless years was devoured by the soul devourer's brain and disappeared from the world. After devouring the powerful white tiger evil soul, the soul devourer's brain split into a large number of brain cells and began its 4th evolution. 30/30709 mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 766. Junior, thank you. Thank you for helping me complete my mission and eliminating the White Tiger evil soul. The mysterious spirit sensed that the White Tiger evil soul's aura had disappeared from Yi Qinfeng's Soul Sea and guessed that Yi Qinfeng must have used his heaven-defying trump card to eliminate the White Tiger evil soul. He appeared from the 9-dragon jade wall and spoke in an extremely weak voice. Senior, this is what I should do, Yi Qinfeng said in a tone that was neither haughty nor humble. Junior, before my spirit dissipates, I will give you a big gift to satisfy the curiosity in my heart. As he spoke, the mysterious spirit forced its way into Yi Qinfeng's Soul Sea and allowed the God-Eater brain to devour it. After devouring the mysterious spirit, the God-Eater brain split out a large number of brain cells again and continued to evolve at a faster speed. Slowly, it formed a soul fragment that was emitting a dark, golden glow. Boss, can you give me the White Tiger skeleton? With the White Tiger skeleton, I will be able to use a portion of my original body strength and increase my attack power by a level. The White Tiger was also a divine beast. Looking at the White Tiger skeleton that was flowing with an ancient glow and contained powerful energy, the chaotic divine beast's round eyes lit up. Of course. Yi Qinfeng agreed without hesitation. Thank you, boss. As he spoke, the chaotic divine beast turned into a stream of light and entered the White Tiger skeleton. He executed the divine ability of the chaotic race and merged with the White Tiger skeleton. Once the chaotic divine beast merged with the White Tiger skeleton, he would be able to execute some divine ability with the help of the White Tiger skeleton's strength. Third Uncle Fu, Lingyu, Shuehe, all of you have contributed greatly to the successful extermination of the White Tiger evil soul. I'll give this dragon tail to you. Once you refine the dragon power in this dragon tail, your strength will greatly improve. Yi Qinfeng held the Emperor's Sky Sword and used all his strength to cut off the dragon tail that was a few hundred meters long. He gave it to the King of Massacre and the other two and lent them the Suzaku tripod so that they could control it to refine the dragon tail. Thank you. The King of Slaughter and the other two were fully aware of the value of the dragon tail and excitedly said, All right, now that the White Tiger evil soul has been annihilated and the celestial dragon's boundless mountain forbidden ground has disappeared, there is no longer any danger in the ancient North Sea. The space here will also slowly stabilize. Let's go into seclusion here for a period of time. After that, we will set off for the Xingluo continent. Yi Qinfeng suggested. After saying that, Yi Qinfeng controlled the universe mirror and took away half of the white dragon skeleton, heading to the deepest part of the ancient North Sea. He was preparing to devour the dragon energy contained within the white dragon's skeleton to raise the grade of his dragon bloodline and fuse with the dragon heart, breaking through to the battle beast emperor realm. After Yi Qinfeng left, the King of Massacre and the other two worked together to break down the dragon tail that was hundreds of meters long and threw it into the vermilion bird cauldron to refine its essence. After about a day or so, Yi Qinfeng had completely recovered his exhausted soul power. He adjusted himself to his best condition and summoned the Chaos Divine Wood. Letting the Chaos Divine Wood directly absorb the dragon energy contained within the white dragon skeleton was the fastest, most direct, and best method that Yi Qinfeng could think of to devour the dragon energy. The white dragon's skeleton's hardness surpassed ordinary Dao artifacts and was extremely tough. However, the constantly evolving Chaos Divine Wood's roots still pierced through the white dragon skeleton and took root in it. It crazily absorbed the pure dragon energy contained within the skeleton and transferred it to Yi Qinfeng's body. While increasing his strength, it also increased the density of his dragon bloodline. As the primal Chaos Divine Wood transferred more and more dragon power, all of Yi Qinfeng's meridians swelled up. At this moment, he endured the tearing pain and multitasked, circulating the divine change 9 transformations at high speed, refining the incomparably powerful dragon power into his Shenmen meridian and cultivating the second transformation of the divine change 9 transformations true spirit body. It was unknown how much time had passed. Was it a month, a year, or even longer? Suddenly, dark clouds gathered above the North Sea like a tumbling tsunami. They gathered above the North Sea ancient land. Very soon, a silver lightning bolt as thick as a water bucket descended from the sky. It was like a silver dragon that shattered the blue sea. It carried a terrifying destructive force as it blasted towards Fu Qingshan, who had refined a large amount of dragon bone essence and was trying to break through to the Beast Emperor realm. Originally, with Fu Qingshan's cultivation foundation, breaking through to the Beast Emperor realm wouldn't attract heaven's punishment. However, the energy contained within the heavenly dragon bone was too great. Not only did it give him the strength to break through to the Beast Emperor realm in a short period of time, it also attracted heaven's punishment. Facing heaven's punishment when breaking through to the Beast Emperor realm was extremely fierce. However, once one passed through heaven's punishment and received the baptism of heaven's punishment, the benefits were also very obvious. Not only could it greatly strengthen one's cultivation foundation, even the Tao intent that one comprehended would be refined under the baptism of heaven's punishment. Therefore, heaven's punishment was a heaven-sent opportunity for some heaven-defying monsters. Come! Seeing heaven's punishment descending from the sky, Fu Qingshan's eyes didn't have a trace of fear. He roared as his black hair danced in the wind. He was like an unyielding god of war as he welcomed the baptism of heaven's punishment with all his strength. Rumble! The terrifying heaven's punishment landed heavily on Fu Qingshan's body, instantly engulfing him. However, the moment Fu Qingshan was engulfed by heaven's punishment, the Tao intent of spear and Tao intent of light that he comprehended erupted. They constantly tore apart the heaven's punishment and protected Fu Qingshan's body from being destroyed. Around 15 minutes later, the first terrifying heaven's punishment vanished, revealing Fu Qingshan's bleeding body. At this moment, Fu Qingshan seemed to be heavily injured, but the battle intent that permeated his body was extremely high. His blood boiled as he welcomed the second heaven's punishment. Rumble! The deafening sound of thunder reverberated through the North Sea. The second heaven's punishment that was even more powerful descended. It distorted the space and blasted towards Fu Qingshan, wanting to destroy him. Bloodline of the Azure Emperor Rock, ignite! Facing the second heaven's punishment, the injured Fu Qingshan didn't dare to be careless. He decisively ignited the power of his bloodline and welcomed the attack with all his strength. He danced in the destructive heaven's punishment and tempered himself. More than an hour later, Fu Qingshan paid the price of being heavily injured and finally passed the second heaven's punishment. He was only left with the last heaven's punishment and would be able to perfectly pass the heaven's punishment and break through to the Battle Beast Emperor realm. However, his current situation wasn't good. The terrifying second heaven's punishment had damaged all the meridians in his body. If it wasn't for the fact that he refined the dragon bone essence and increased his physical body's defense, he wouldn't have been able to pass the second heaven's punishment. There is still the last heaven's punishment. I must survive it. Fu Qingshan, who was heavily injured, quickly consumed a healing pill. He held the spear with one hand and recovered while waiting for the last heaven's punishment to descend. Rumble, 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 rumble. When the third heaven's punishment descended, all the sounds in the world were devoured. The terrifying heaven's punishment tore through the void and directly annihilated Fu Qingshan's Tao intent of spear and Tao intent of light. Just as Fu Qingshan faintly felt that he couldn't withstand the third heaven's punishment, a strange heartbeat sound suddenly rang out. It was so loud that it covered the terrifying sound of thunder. Heartbeat sound? Why is there heartbeat sound? The King of Massacre and the spirit fish, who had dodged far away, were attracted by the sudden heartbeat sound. They looked at each other and revealed astonished expressions. Could it be Master? The King of Massacre suddenly thought of Yi Qinfeng. He thought that this strange heartbeat must be related to Yi Qinfeng. As for Fu Shan, whose life was hanging by a thread, when he heard the strange heartbeat sound, his panicked heart instantly calmed down. He clenched his teeth tightly and incessantly stimulated his body's potential as he made his final gamble. Fourth layer of Tao intent of spear. Fourth layer of Tao intent of light, break for me. Under the desperate perseverance, Fu Shan's comprehension of Tao intent of spear and Tao intent of light rose to a whole new level. With the help of these two Tao intents, Fu Shan launched his final attack and tore apart the third heaven's punishment. He narrowly passed the last heaven's punishment. However, when the completely exhausted Fu Shan knelt on the ground and gasped for breath, another terrifying sound of thunder rang out, causing Fu Shan, who had just survived the calamity, to reveal a look of despair. Mobile users, please browse to M. Reading. Mobile reading website. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 767. How can this be? Why is there a fourth heavenly punishment? Does the heavens want to destroy me? Not only was Fu Shan dumbfounded, but the King of Massacre and the Spirit Fish were also stunned. All of you, quickly retreat 10 miles away. Don't be affected by my heavenly punishment. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng's deep voice suddenly rang out in the depths of the ancient North Sea. This is Qingfeng's heavenly punishment. Hearing Yi Qinfeng's urging, Fu Shan heaved a sigh of relief. His heart finally settled down. Let's go. The King of Massacre flashed and appeared beside the heavily injured Fu Shan, whose body and spirit beast were constantly transforming. The King of Massacre brought him far away. At this moment, the sky above the North Sea changed, and the heavens and earth trembled. Black clouds surged in from all directions, forming a terrifying whirlpool with a radius of several hundred nautical miles above the ancient North Sea. Endless tornadoes spread out from the whirlpool, causing the sea to surge violently, forming huge waves that were several hundred feet tall. The entire space was like the end of the world. Fu Shan's heavenly tribulation had attracted many North Sea experts. Now, Yi Qinfeng's heavenly tribulation was even more terrifying, attracting even more people. Heavens, what kind of demonic beast is undergoing tribulation in the depths of the North Sea? Could there be a peerless demonic beast hidden in the North Sea? Feeling the terrifying aura from the black cloud whirlpool, many people were deeply shocked. Their hearts were trembling. Rumble. Following the deafening roar of thunder, the thickening tribulation clouds underwent a change. 5 types of destructive power appeared. This. Why do I feel the power of the 5 elements in the tribulation clouds? I feel it too. This can't be the legendary 5 elements tribulation, right? 5 elements tribulation. Heavens. Could there be a divine beast hidden in the North Sea? 5 elements tribulation. I have never heard of it before. Many North Sea experts revealed a look of horror, not daring to believe what they were seeing. In their memories, only demonic beasts undergoing tribulation, the birth of top-grade divine weapons, or the refinement of peerless Tao pills would attract heavenly punishment. They had never seen a human being attracting heavenly punishment, not to mention that this heavenly punishment was not an ordinary heavenly punishment, but the heavenly punishment of the 5 elements that was only mentioned in ancient books. The heavenly punishment is finally about to descend. I wonder what kind of heavenly punishment I will incur after refining the dragon bone and fusing it with the dragon heart. With the help of the Chaos Divine Wood, Yi Qinfeng had refined 2/3 of the dragon bone essence and raised his dragon bloodline from the 4th grade to the 7th grade. His dragon bloodline had been greatly enhanced, and Yi Qinfeng's soul power had also reached the limit of his cultivation realm. Feeling that the time was right, Yi Qinfeng took out the dragon heart he had obtained from the dragon abyss. Using the power of the chaotic divine wood, he compressed the dragon heart to the limit. He then cut open his chest and directly pressed the dragon heart into his body. As soon as the dragon heart entered Yi Qinfeng's body, it immediately erupted with mountain collapsing, tsunami-like energy, attacking Yi Qinfeng's cultivation realm bottleneck. And this heaven-defying power, as Yi Qinfeng had guessed, attracted an extremely terrifying heavenly punishment. Yi Qinfeng had broken through to the rank 1 combat beast emperor realm. Not only had he fused with the white dragon bone, but the dragon heart had also violated the laws of heaven and earth. The existence of the god-devouring brain and the chaotic divine would had also violated the laws of heaven and earth. Therefore, Yi Qinfeng's heavenly punishment was not an ordinary heavenly punishment, but an extremely terrifying one that contained the power of the 5 elements of heaven and earth. If Yi Qinfeng could pass the heavenly punishment of the 5 elements, the benefits he would obtain would be extremely obvious. Not only would his comprehension of the 5 elements be greatly improved, but his physical body, foundation, and even his spiritual beast, the 2-headed blood dragon king, would also undergo a transformation. However, although the ancient books of the Duhan continent recorded the heavenly punishment of the 5 elements, there was no record of anyone being able to pass the heavenly punishment of the 5 elements. It could be said that crossing the heavenly punishment of the 5 elements was a struggle against the heavens, and there was no turning back. I wonder how powerful Brother Qingfeng's heavenly punishment is. Due to the barrier, Ling Yu and the others did not know that Yi Qinfeng had attracted the heavenly punishment of the 5 elements. However, they had a feeling that the heavenly punishment attracted by Yi Qinfeng's breakthrough to the rank 1 combat beast emperor realm was definitely not simple. I think it might be the most terrifying heavenly punishment. The chaos divine beast parasitized in the white dragon bone and shrank to its normal form. It opened its big mouth and said, "The most terrifying heavenly punishment. Can Brother Qingfeng pass through it safely?" Ling Yu had broken through to the rank 1 combat beast emperor realm and possessed a lot of inherited memories. She knew how terrifying the heavenly punishment was and could not help but worry about Yi Qinfeng. "Don't worry. Boss has 9 lives. A mere heavenly punishment won't kill him," the chaos divine beast said without hesitation. As it spoke, the terrifying whirlpool of heavenly punishment turned into a golden ocean. In the ocean, rays of golden light constantly flashed. It was incomparably dazzling. Each ray of golden light had the power to shatter mountains and isolate the void. Rumble! A deafening explosion sounded from the golden ocean. The rolling golden light shattered everything and poured down from the golden ocean. It tore through the void and penetrated into the North Sea, directly splitting open the North Sea that was tens of thousands of meters deep. "It's coming." Yi Qinfeng, who was meditating with his eyes closed, felt the descent of the golden tribulation. He immediately opened his eyes and the bones in his body rang. His blood and qi surged. His aura had also reached the peak at this moment. He used all his strength to welcome the baptism of the golden tribulation. Bang! The ancient North Sea's barrier was torn apart again. Tens of thousands of golden tribulation rays bombarded Yi Qinfeng's body like a hot knife through butter. His protective soul was directly shattered. His flesh and blood had to bear the baptism of the golden tribulation. Yi Qinfeng's physical body was already comparable to a top-grade heaven artifact. Now that he had refined the dragon bone essence, his physical body had improved further and was close to a Tao artifact. Relying on his body that was as hard as black iron, Yi Qinfeng endured the attack of the golden tribulation. However, the golden tribulation rays were like an endless tide. Each wave was higher than the previous one. In an instant, Yi Qinfeng was swallowed up. The entire ancient North Sea trembled and was filled with crisscrossing cracks. "Oh my God, Boss actually attracted the 5 elements tribulation. This kind of tribulation is rare even in the heaven domain. Boss has incurred the wrath of the heavens. The heavens want to strike him to death. The chaos divine beast stared at Yi Qin-feng, who was swallowed up by the golden tribulation. He felt the terrifying might of the golden tribulation and couldn't help but gulp. He was deeply shocked. Then Big Brother Qin-feng won't be in danger, right? The worry on the spirit fish's face deepened. Facing such a terrifying golden tribulation, the spirit fish felt that even with her powerful physical body, she wouldn't be able to withstand it. She couldn't help but break out in cold sweat for Yi Qin-feng. This shouldn't be a problem. The chaos divine beast didn't expect Yi Qin-feng to attract the 5 elements tribulation. He gulped, and his tone was slightly shaky. Golden tribulation, break for me. All of a sudden, a voice that shook the 9 heavens resounded. A terrifying power was like a true dragon that had suddenly awakened from its slumber and roared towards the sky. Boom! 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 A large amount of golden tribulation exploded under Yi Qin-feng's roar. He raised his head towards the sky and waved his arms. He was like an invincible god of war, resisting the baptism of the golden tribulation with all his might. He was challenging the terrifying might of the heavens. After about an hour, Yi Qin-feng's comprehension of the Tao of lightning had increased to the 5th heavenly layer under the baptism of the golden tribulation. He tore apart the surging golden tribulation in one fell swoop. When the first golden tribulation disappeared, Yi Qin-feng's body, which was comparable to a quasi-Tao artifact, was scorched black by the terrifying golden tribulation. His skin and flesh were lacerated, and a large amount of blood flowed out. He had suffered unimaginable damage. Mobile users, please browse to M. Mobile reading website. This book's address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 768. Not good. Just the first wave of tribulation was enough to injure Qin-feng. To think that the power of the 5 elements tribulation would be so great. Seeing Yi Qin-feng covered in blood and his aura in chaos, Fu Qingshan couldn't help but feel nervous. He was worried that Yi Qin-feng would fail his tribulation. If that happened, he would be consigned to eternal damnation. The 5 elements tribulation is truly terrifying. However, I believe that boss will definitely be able to pull through, said the chaos divine beast. I also believe that Big Brother Qin-feng will succeed. He has never disappointed anyone before. The spirit fish nodded, praying for Yi Qin-feng in her heart. Dragon heart, fuse! Just as everyone was worried for Yi Qin-feng used the baptism of the metal tribulation to quickly refine the dragon heart energy in his body. Fusing with the dragon heart, he attempted to break through to the combat beast emperor realm. At this time, he seemed to be heavily injured. However, the aura in his body was like smoke, and his blood was gushing out like a fountain. Large amounts of cracks were rapidly healing under the power of the dragon heart. It's healed. Young master, Ye's injuries have healed. Seeing Yi Qin-feng's injuries heal at a speed visible to the naked eye, the king of slaughter's heart was in turmoil. He had never heard of such a terrifying recovery ability before. At this time, the whirlpool of tribulation clouds in the sky turned dark green. A majestic force of nature formed in the tribulation clouds. The entire sky was filled with lush greenery, as if spring had finally arrived. However, there was a great danger hidden in this beautiful green scenery. After brewing for half an incense stick's worth of time, Yi Qin-feng's second 5 elements tribulation, the wood tribulation, descended. Like the roots of an old tree, green light fell from the sky, tearing through the void, attacking Yi Qinfeng, who was sitting cross-legged and refining the dragon heart. In the blink of an eye, Yi Qinfeng was wrapped up by the green light roots. A large amount of roots drilled into his body through his pores, devouring his energy. Chaos divine wood counters the wood tribulation. Of the 5 elements heavenly tribulation, the one Yi Qinfeng was least afraid of was the wood tribulation. With the strength of the chaos divine wood, it could completely restrain the baptism of the wood tribulation. Indeed, as Yi Qinfeng had imagined, when the wood tribulation power drilled into Yi Qinfeng's body, it was immediately restrained by the chaos divine wood. It was unable to harm his body at all. With the help of the wood tribulation, Yi Qinfeng continued to refine the powerful dragon heart, transforming his body and spiritual beast as he attempted to break through to the combat beast emperor realm. On the other hand, Yi Qinfeng's wood Dao insight and life Dao insight were constantly improving under the baptism of the wood tribulation. However, before the wood tribulation dissipated, a meteor with a diameter of 1 mile condensed in the tribulation cloud that was spinning faster and faster. It contained the power to destroy heaven and earth. Suddenly, it broke through the center of the tribulation cloud and smashed towards Yi Qinfeng with a crimson tail of fire trailing behind it. Before the wood tribulation was over, there was the earth tribulation. Yi Qinfeng's situation became even more dangerous. If he couldn't withstand it, he would be consigned to eternal damnation. Earth tribulation. Big Brother Qingfeng's earth tribulation is descending again. Does this heavenly tribulation have to kill Big Brother Qingfeng? Seeing the meteor-like earth tribulation descending from the sky, the spirit fish's heart tightened. Its 2 small fists were tightly clenched together, and its palms were filled with sweat. The 5 elements tribulation is indeed not easy to transcend. However, if Boss can transcend this 5 elements tribulation, the benefits he will obtain will be immeasurable. His comprehension of Tao insight will reach an extremely terrifying level. Seeing Yi Qinfeng being smashed into the ground by the earth tribulation, the chaos divine beast couldn't help but feel anxious. Qingfeng, you must succeed. Fu Qingshan held his breath and kept praying in his heart. 7 swords of judgment. Emperor Heavenly Sword Art. The heavenly Tao is merciless. After being smashed into the ground by the earth tribulation, more than half of the bones in Yi Qinfeng's body were shattered. The fresh blood flowing from his body dyed him red. However, under such circumstances, Yi Qinfeng didn't give up. He raised the strength of his physical body to the maximum and condensed 8 killing halos. He repeatedly executed powerful Tao techniques and ferociously attacked the earth tribulation that could pierce through mountains. Rumble. Deafening explosions were heard continuously. Waves of terrifying Tao insights were crazily clashing against the earth tribulation and tearing apart the wood tribulation. Under Yi Qinfeng's relentless attacks, the wood tribulation that was restrained by the chaos divine would gradually dissipated. The meteor-like earth tribulation was also blasted apart by the powerful Tao insights, causing its strength to decrease. Finally, under Yi Qinfeng's relentless attacks, the shockingly destructive earth tribulation was shattered. Yi Qinfeng, who was covered in blood, once again appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng could be described as a tragic sight. His skin and flesh were lacerated, and his white bones were exposed. The blood that flowed out had almost dried up. If it was an ordinary person, they would have been smashed to pieces and died on the spot. However, Yi Qinfeng had cultivated the divine transformation 9 transformations to the greater success stage of the spirit body. His physical body was too strong. In addition to the dragon bone essence and the power of the dragon heart, Yi Qinfeng's physical body had reached an extremely terrifying level. After the baptism of the wood tribulation and earth tribulation, Yi Qinfeng's understanding of the wood, earth, life, and death Tao insights had reached a new level. All of them had reached the third level of the heavenly realm. Huff! Power of the dragon heart, repair! Although his physical body was heavily injured, it didn't affect Yi Qinfeng's conviction in the slightest. He removed all distracting thoughts from his mind and circulated the soul-devouring tactic and divine transformation 9 transformations at high speed. He refined the dragon bone and dragon heart into his physical body, repairing his physical body's injuries and welcoming the last 2 tribulation, which were also the most terrifying water tribulation and fire tribulation. Too strong. Qinfeng is too strong. I really don't dare to imagine how strong he will be after crossing the 5 elements tribulation and breaking through to the first grade combat beast emperor realm. Seeing Yi Qinfeng's physical body recover at an extremely fast speed, Fu Qingshan and the others were deeply shocked by his shocking strength and powerful recovery ability. After the Earth tribulation and with tribulation, the rapidly revolving tribulation cloud vortex in the sky changed color once again. It became red and blue, dyeing the sky in a radius of several hundred nautical miles. And within the red and blue tribulation cloud, 2 divine, dragon-like, heavenly tribulations of water and fire were rapidly brewing, causing the sea to fluctuate and raise huge waves. Finally, after brewing for half an incense's time, the 2 tribulations of water and fire had reached their limits and descended together. For a moment, the sky trembled and countless rays of divine light illuminated the sky. The 2 tribulations of water and fire became the only thing in the world. They pierced through heaven and earth and directly swallowed Yi Qinfeng, who had a serious expression. Boom! The space Yi Qinfeng was in also collapsed under the attack of the 2 tribulations of water and fire. The entire ground sank by several hundred meters. Dragon bloodline ignite. Yi Qinfeng didn't expect the 2 tribulations of water and fire to descend at the same time. Without hesitation, he ignited his dragon bloodline and increased his soul power by 7 times. He transformed into his strongest beast soul form and resisted with all his strength. But the 2 tribulations of water and fire were too terrifying. With just 1 attack, they destroyed Yi Qinfeng's continuous attacks and bombarded his body with unstoppable force. Immediately, the blood dragon scales that covered Yi Qinfeng's body shattered. The bones that had just been repaired by the dragon heart and dragon bone were broken. His body was almost penetrated by the tribulations of water and fire. His flesh was mangled and blood splattered everywhere. Chaos divine would suppress the tribulations of water and fire. Yi Qinfeng endured the excruciating pain and intense dizziness in his body. He controlled the chaos divine would to suppress the tribulations of water and fire that was surging into his body. He continued to blast out terrifying Dao techniques, shaking the tribulations of water and fire as he made his final resistance. However, the power of the heavenly tribulation of water and fire was too terrifying. It had practically drained all the power of the tribulation clouds in the several hundred nautical miles. Yi Qinfeng's attacks became weak and feeble, and his injuries also became more and more serious as he resisted. Facing the tribulations of 5 elements that almost no human could resist, Yi Qinfeng was on the brink of death. Mobile users, please browse to M. Reading. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 769. Dragon Heart, speed up the fusion. His injuries were getting more and more serious, and he was almost torn apart by the water and fire calamities. However, Yi Qinfeng still held onto his last trace of consciousness and used the baptism of the water and fire calamities to stimulate his body's potential as he tried his best to fuse with the dragon heart. As Yi Qinfeng fused with a large amount of dragon heart and dragon bone power and tried to break through to the combat beast emperor realm. The two-headed blood dragon king in his mind was also undergoing a transformation. However, the two-headed blood dragon king's transformation was completely different from what Yi Qinfeng had imagined. Its 5,000-meter-long body was constantly shrinking, and its two heads were showing signs of merging into one. However, the power it contained was incomparable. If the two-headed blood dragon king could evolve, it would greatly increase Yi Qinfeng's battle prowess and help him pass the 5 elements' heavenly punishment that was almost impossible for humans to pass. Primal chaos divine would shake the void. Just as Yi Qinfeng's injuries were getting more and more serious, and he couldn't withstand the attacks of the water and fire calamities anymore, he summoned his final trump card, the primal chaos divine would, to shake the void and shatter the water and fire calamities. Under the suppression of the primal chaos divine would, the water and fire calamities were constantly weakened, giving Yi Qinfeng a chance to catch his breath. However, he didn't waste this excellent opportunity and stood in the ruins with the Emperor's celestial sword. He was like a war god bathed in blood as he brandished his sword and attacked. The terrifying might caused the heaven and earth to tremble. God 9 transformations refined the water and fire calamities into the Shenmen acupoint. Although Yi Qinfeng had borrowed the power of the primal chaos divine would to withstand the attacks of the water and fire calamities for a short period of time, the water and fire calamities were endless, and his injuries were constantly worsening under the repeated attacks. Helplessly, he took a risk and circulated the God 9 transformations, refining the water and fire calamities into the Shenmen acupoint and accelerating the transformation of the spirit bead in the Shenmen acupoint. This action was very dangerous. If he lost control and allowed the water and fire calamities to penetrate the Shenmen acupoint, his situation would become even worse. He might even fail at the last step and be killed by the water and fire calamities. However, the spiritual orb in his Shenmen acupoint had already reached saturation after being infused with a large amount of dragon bone energy. Now that it was being refined by the heavenly punishment of water and fire, the rate at which it was evolving had increased significantly. When the chaos divine wood was suppressed by the heavenly punishment of water and fire, and when Yi Qinfeng was once again engulfed by the violent heavenly punishment of water and fire, the spirit pearl in his Shenmen acupoint finally transformed into a true spirit pearl. After cultivating his true spirit body to the first level in this desperate situation, Yi Qinfeng's pure physical strength had instantly skyrocketed to 20 million gene of strength. Adding the amplification of his realm, Yi Qinfeng's physical strength had reached a shocking 25 million gene of strength. The toughness of his body had reached the level of a low-grade Tao artifact, so it was able to withstand the destructive attack of the heavenly punishment of water and fire. Fiend God bloodline ignition, fiend God body. Yi Qinfeng decisively ignited his godly devil bloodline, increasing his physical strength and strength to the greatest extent, shaking the heavenly punishment of water and fire. I can feel it. Master's strength is increasing. He seems to have completed a transformation. The chaos divine beast that was guarding the area outside the heavenly punishment felt the changes in Yi Qinfeng's body and secretly heaved a sigh of relief as he spoke excitedly. It could be said that Yi Qinfeng's transformation into a true spirit body in this desperate situation was like sending charcoal in snowy weather, giving him hope to live. That's great. Big Brother Qingfeng will definitely be able to survive this heavenly punishment of 5 elements. The spirit fish cheered as he continued to cheer and pray for Yi Qinfeng in his heart. However, the spirit fish and the others didn't rejoice for long before a series of earth-shattering sounds rang out in the North Sea. The heavenly punishment of water and fire seemed to be angered by Yi Qinfeng's counterattack as it started to gather energy. The terrifying energy caused the space in the North Sea to collapse. Water Tao intent evolve. Fire Tao intent evolve. As the strength of the heavenly punishment of water and fire increased rapidly, Yi Qinfeng, who was constantly receiving the baptism of the heavenly punishment, had his comprehension of the Tao insights of water and fire increased by a level, and both of his Tao insights had risen to the third level of the heavenly punishment. Life Spirit Technique. Burn 3,000 years of lifespan. As his Tao intent increased, Yi Qinfeng began to make his final gamble. Without hesitation, he burned 3,000 years of his lifespan and borrowed the powerful life force to forcefully raise his strength to a level 3 combat beast emperor. Following that, Yi Qinfeng's severely injured body surged at the 5 elements Tao intent and sword Tao intent. They formed an unstoppable 5 elements sword and slashed at the heavenly punishment of water and fire. Kachacha! When the 5 elements sword slashed a hole in the heavenly punishment of water and fire, it was immediately shattered by the heavenly punishment of water and fire. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng consecutively blasted out heavenly Tao, ruthless, Xianming extreme Tao, and other Tao techniques to weaken the power of the heavenly punishment of water and fire. After forcefully raising his strength to a level 3 combat beast emperor, the power of Yi Qinfeng's Tao techniques increased by more than 10 times. However, he was still unable to withstand the heavenly punishment of water and fire. Fortunately, the Chaos Divine Wood was rejuvenated with Yi Qinfeng's increase in strength. It enveloped Yi Qinfeng's body and shattered the heavenly punishment of water and fire. Damn it, it's already been 2 hours. Why hasn't the heavenly punishment of water and fire dissipated? Could it be that this heavenly punishment of water and fire will not stop until it kills me? Yi Qinfeng exerted all his strength to resist the heavenly punishment of water and fire for more than 2 hours. He discovered that the heavenly punishment of water and fire showed no signs of dissipating. However, this did not shake his unyielding belief. He gritted his teeth and continued to endure while refining the dragon heart and dragon bone energy. Roar! 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 Just as the life force in Yi Qinfeng's body began to fade and his strength began to decline, a shocking dragon roar resounded in Yi Qinfeng's soul sea. After fusing with enough dragon heart and dragon bone energy, Yi Qinfeng's spiritual beast, the 2-headed blood dragon king, once again condensed its 2 dragon heads into one. Its huge body shrunk to 1,000 meters. However, it transformed into the extremely terrifying blood dragon emperor. The word emperor condensed on its forehead like a ruler descending to the world. The soul energy in its body skyrocketed by more than 10 times. The 2-headed blood dragon king evolved into the blood dragon emperor. Yi Qinfeng's realm bottleneck finally loosened. The dragon heart also fused with Yi Qinfeng's level 7 dragon bloodline. Level 1 combat beast emperor breakthrough. When the time was right, Yi Qinfeng operated the soul-devouring art at high speed and mobilized the strongest power in his body. He broke through the bottleneck in one fell swoop and broke through to the level 1 combat beast emperor realm. The moment he broke through, the terrifying heavenly punishment of water and fire also came to an end. However, at this time, the power of the heavenly punishment of water and fire increased again. It was like thousands of water and fire stars smashing down, shattering Yi Qinfeng's attack and annihilating him along with the Chaos Divine Wood. Hold on, at the last moment, I must hold on. Breaking through to the level 1 combat beast emperor realm did not allow Yi Qinfeng to escape from the situation of his life hanging by a thread. After suffering the most fatal attack of the heavenly punishment of water and fire, his physical injuries worsened again. His body was almost torn apart by the power of the heavenly punishment. However, Yi Qinfeng did not give up. He gritted his teeth and held on to the belief that man could conquer nature. He tried hard to keep himself awake and used all his strength and burning his life force to resist the final attack of the heavenly punishment of water and fire. Finally, the last heavenly punishment of water and fire fell. The area where Yi Qinfeng was transcending the tribulation collapsed by hundreds of meters again. The entire space was completely annihilated. It was muddy and lifeless, mobile user, Please browse to M. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 770. It's gone. Brother Qingfeng's aura has disappeared. Could it be? No, boss has 9 lives. He won't die. Something must have happened. With the disappearance of the water and fire divine punishment, Yi Qinfeng's aura had also disappeared. This made the anxious Ling Yu, Fu Qingshan, and the others panic. Even the king of massacre revealed a complicated expression. Subconsciously, he didn't want anything to happen to Yi Qinfeng, because once Yi Qinfeng passed this terrifying 5 elements divine punishment, his potential would be limitless. In the future, there would be a great chance for him to ascend to the heaven region. At that time, he would be able to obtain unimaginable benefits. Come, let's go over and take a look. Fu Qingshan suggested. He and the others quickly approached the area where Yi Qinfeng was undergoing his tribulation. Thump, thump, thump. Suddenly, in the deathly silent area, there was the terrifying sound of a heartbeat. Every heartbeat was like the sound of a divine drum, shaking the hearts of everyone. Heartbeat, Qingfeng is indeed not dead. Hearing the sudden heartbeat, Fu Qingshan and the others let out a long breath. When they approached the area where Yi Qinfeng was undergoing his tribulation, they saw the reborn Yi Qinfeng sitting cross-legged in the ruins. His blood was surging, and his Tao intent was shining. His sharp aura was like a peerless sword, piercing through the universe. What a terrifying aura! After passing the 5 elements divine punishment, Qinfeng has transformed to such an extent. It's like a real dragon that is hatching. Feeling the aura from Yi Qinfeng's body, Fu Qingshan and the others gulped. They were shocked, but they were also happy for him from the bottom of their hearts. Don't come near me. My divine punishment is not over yet. Leave this place quickly to avoid being affected by my divine punishment. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng's voice sounded in everyone's ears as he urged them anxiously. What? It's not over yet. Hearing Yi Qinfeng's voice, everyone felt like they were struck by lightning. Their minds went blank and they were all dumbfounded. They couldn't imagine what kind of divine punishment was waiting for Yi Qinfeng after the terrifying 5 elements divine punishment. Could it be that Qinfeng's existence had exceeded the recognition of the heavens and earth, so much so that the heavens and earth were determined to eliminate this variable? While everyone was hesitating, the endless black wind passed through the raging waves of the North Sea and surged into the ancient land of the North Sea, engulfing the entire space, riddling the fragile space with thousands of holes. Let's go. We'll talk after we get out of here. When the destructive black wind appeared, no one dared to stay for long. They quickly retreated from the area where Yi Qinfeng was undergoing his tribulation and continued to wait anxiously. Handan, what do you think will appear after the 5 elements' heavenly tribulation to attack Master? The golden dragon blood lion asked as he looked at the wailing black wind. I don't know, but it's definitely stronger than the 5 elements' heavenly tribulation, the chaos divine beast said, shaking his head. If it's even more powerful than the 5 elements' heavenly tribulation, will Master be able to overcome it? The golden dragon blood lion asked worriedly. Yes, I believe that nothing in this world can destroy Boss. He will definitely be able to reverse the heavens and pass the heavenly punishment, the chaos divine beast said without hesitation. The destructive black wind grew stronger and stronger. At this time, above the North Sea, a mysterious and complex heavenly Tao diagram that covered dozens of miles appeared. It swallowed all the spiritual qi above the North Sea, causing the sea to surge with tsunamis. The entire space was in chaos again. Gosh, what kind of monster is hiding in the North Sea? After the 5 elements' heavenly tribulation, such a Tao diagram actually appeared. Looking at the Tao diagram that was like an ancient giant beast swallowing the spiritual chi of heaven and earth, the North Sea experts who had retreated to the distance were shocked again. It could be said that what they had witnessed was far beyond their imagination. It was enough for them to brag about for the rest of their lives. Dragon's heart merge. Just as the Tao diagram was about to descend, Yi Qinfeng, who was on the verge of death, stimulated his strongest potential and merged the dragon's heart perfectly into his heart. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng's qi and blood reached the peak. It was as if a divine dragon had merged into his body. He had endless strength to face the coming tribulation. My fate is in my own hands, not the heavens. If the heavens and earth don't tolerate me, then I will defy the heavens. His heart was filled with hot blood. Facing the baptism of the heavens and earth, Yi Qinfeng was fearless and faced the attack with all his strength. Boom! Just as Yi Qinfeng's fighting spirit reached its peak, the heaven and earth Tao map descended. The moment it descended, the entire world seemed to freeze. Between heaven and earth, only the heaven and earth Tao map remained. Gosh, it's the Tao diagram. After the 5 elements heavenly tribulation, the Tao diagram actually appeared. This old bastard is really going to kill boss. Looking at the Tao diagram that was intertwined with the Tao intent of the heavens and earth, the chaos divine beast's eyes widened. His white, skeletal body couldn't help but tremble. What should we do? The Tao diagram is a power that only the heaven domain has. Can Brother Qingfeng withstand it? Spirit Fish's heart tightened as he asked nervously. The King of Massacre took a deep breath. Looking at the Tao diagram that was descending on Yi Qinfeng, he said firmly, he definitely can. Young master, you will definitely be able to defeat the heaven domain. 5 elements sword slash. As the Tao diagram descended, the 6 Tao intents surged out of Yi Qinfeng's body once again, turning into the 5 elements sword that could split the heavens and earth. It slashed forward like a hot knife through butter. However, the power of the Tao diagram far surpassed the heavenly punishment of water and fire. It directly shattered the 5 element sword. The heavenly Tao is merciless. 10 marks of heavenly Tao flew out of Yi Qinfeng's body and turned into a terrifying heavenly might, bombarding the heavenly Tao diagram. The heavenly Tao was the foundation of all Taos. The heavenly Tao diagram was even more powerful than the Tao diagram. When the heavenly Tao diagram collided with it, it caused the Tao diagram to tremble violently. Chaos divine wood. In the instant that the heavenly Tao shook the heaven and earth Tao diagram, Yi Qinfeng summoned the chaos divine wood. He continuously infused the chaos divine wood with his soul energy and vigorous qi and blood, controlling the chaos divine wood to continuously expand. It shook the tree crown and knocked against the heaven and earth Tao diagram, forcibly resisting the heaven and earth Tao diagram. He resisted it. Brother Qingfeng resisted the Tao diagram. Witnessing the Tao diagram being attacked by the chaos divine wood and being frozen in midair, the spirit fish and the rest couldn't help but feel excited. However, the power of the Tao diagram was too terrifying. After resisting for more than 10 breaths, the chaos divine wood was gradually suppressed by the Tao diagram and fell toward Yi Qinfeng. 9 dragons, jade annulus, break. Seeing that the chaos divine wood couldn't resist the Tao diagram, Yi Qinfeng summoned the supreme grade sage artifact, the 9 dragons, jade annulus. He controlled this sage artifact that had the power to destroy the heavens and earth to attack the Tao diagram. Roar! Roar! A ferocious dragon flew out of the 9 dragons, jade annulus. It carried the power to destroy everything and bombarded the Tao diagram, causing cracks to appear on the Tao diagram. However, before Yi Qinfeng could rejoice, the ferocious dragon was crushed by the Tao diagram. The cracks on the Tao diagram instantly repaired and returned to normal. Boom! After breaking through the destructive attacks launched by Yi Qinfeng, The Tao diagram pressed the chaos divine wood down from the sky and attacked Yi Qinfeng. When the Tao diagram was 1 meter away from Yi Qinfeng, the chaos divine would resisted the Tao diagram again. However, they attacked each other, and the power released by the attacks crazily attacked Yi Qinfeng's body, which was comparable to a low-grade Taoist weapon. In an instant, the bones in Yi Qinfeng's body cracked again. His body became a bloody mess. Even his soul was damaged. A large amount of blood flowed out of his 7 orifices. In the face of the power from the celestial region, Yi Qinfeng was still extremely calm. He believed that as long as he didn't give up, there would be a turning point. He would definitely be able to resist the ruthless rules of heaven and earth, change his fate, and reverse the cruel heavens. Mobile users, please browse to M. Read. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 771. Dragon Heart Ignite. The Chaos Divine Wood was the only thing he could rely on at the moment. Facing the destructive impact, he didn't hesitate to ignite the dragon heart that he had just merged with. He released a powerful blood essence energy into the Chaos Divine Wood and stimulated the power of the Chaos Divine Wood to attack with full force. Sword Puppet, protect! His body that was comparable to a low-grade Tao artifact started to crack, and his bones started to crumble. Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned the sword puppet that had fused with a large number of supreme-grade soul crystals to help him neutralize the attacks. However, in just 3 breaths, 1/10 of the 3 million supreme-grade soul crystals fused with the sword puppet had been depleted. Left with no choice, Yi Qinfeng could only continue to fuse supreme-grade soul crystals into the sword puppet's body so that it could defend with full force. God-Eater Brain, deduce! While the sword puppet was fusing with a large number of supreme-grade soul crystals, Yi Qinfeng, who had gotten a chance to catch his breath, controlled the God-Eater Brain's power to radiate toward the Heaven-Earth Tao diagram. He was trying to sense its situation and find an opportunity to break the Tao diagram. And the God-Eater Brain has evolved. While Yi Qinfeng controlled the God-Eater Brain to deduce, he was pleasantly surprised to find that the God-Eater Brain that had devoured the White Tiger Evil Soul and the Mysterious Soul had completed its 4th evolution. After the God-Eater Brain evolved, Yi Qinfeng's soul spirit, perception, and talents had all improved greatly. 3 dark golden soul fragments appeared in the God-Eater Brain. Dragon Chi. These soul fragments were formed by the God-Eater Brain devouring the Mysterious Soul. Yi Qinfeng sensed the aura of the dragon race in one of the soul fragments, and his mind started to work. If he could comprehend the dragon race's ability in this predicament, he might have a chance to use the dragon race's ability to break through this desperate situation and reverse the heavens. Fuse! Yi Qinfeng multitasked. While defending against the attacks of the Heaven-Earth Tao diagram, he controlled the God-Eater Brain to devour the soul fragments that contain the dragon race's aura. Divine ability, true dragon transformation. After devouring the soul fragments, a mysterious divine ability appeared in Yi Qinfeng's mind. Although this divine ability was only a branch of the dragon race's divine ability, it was extremely powerful. Once activated, he could instantly transform into a divine dragon and unleash the greatest potential of his body to deal a fatal blow to the enemy. God-Eater Brain, comprehend! Feeling the profundity of the true dragon transformation, Yi Qinfeng was overjoyed. Under the threat of death, he controlled the God-Eater Brain to its limits. At this time, the sword puppet, which had consumed 8 million top-grade soul crystals, was unable to withstand the destructive attack of the tunnel map and was sent flying by the terrifying power of heaven and earth. 9 Dragon Jade Wall, defend! The sword puppet was sent flying. Yi Qinfeng immediately took out the 9-dragon jade annulus and controlled it to defend with the chaos divine wood, wearing down the heaven and earth power of the heaven and earth Tao map. Dragon's heart, inject your qi and blood. However, the heaven and earth Tao diagram was too terrifying. Yi Qinfeng had a hard time controlling the two supreme treasures. He had no choice but to continue burning his dragon heart to release boundless qi and blood. It was like 2 rivers of blood pouring into the primal chaos divine wood and the 9-dragon jade annulus. After fusing with the dragon heart's blood essence, the chaos divine wood and the 9-dragon jade annulus power skyrocketed, resisting the attack of the heaven and earth Tao diagram. For a time, the sky above the ancient land of the northern sea started to collapse, and it continued to spread in all directions. Ordinary battle beast emperors would be blasted into smithereens if they were caught in it. Kacha! Kacha! Unable to withstand the impact of the collapse, Yi Qinfeng's bones kept breaking, and his body was also pierced by incomparably sharp energy. His injuries kept worsening, but Yi Qinfeng relied on his incomparably strong will to persevere. Divine demon bloodline, burn! His body was on the verge of collapse, and Yi Qinfeng burned his divine demon bloodline once again. However, the continuous burning of his divine demon bloodline had caused it to become much thinner, and the enhancement to Yi Qinfeng's body was limited. Heavenly Tao power, sword Tao intent, 5 elements Tao intent, life and death Tao intent, relying on his divine demon body to withstand the double attack of the collapse and destructive power. Yi Qinfeng constantly spewed out the Tao intent that he had comprehended, bombarding the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Under Yi Qinfeng's relentless attacks, cracks finally appeared on the terrifying heaven and earth Tao diagram, and it was on the verge of collapse. Chaos divine would primal chaos power. As the heaven and earth Tao diagram cracked, Yi Qinfeng used his last resort. He shot out over 20 primal chaos power that the chaos divine would had nurtured some time ago, attacking the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Kacha! The primal chaos power was extremely strong, and the concentrated attacks on the heaven and earth Tao diagram intensified the cracks. 9-dragon jade annulus attack. After the primal chaos power attack, Yi Qinfeng controlled the 9-dragon jade annulus to attack at all costs. A ferocious dragon that bared its fangs and brandished its claws bombarded the 9-dragon jade annulus at close range, trying to break through the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Unfortunately, the heaven and earth Tao diagram was too terrifying. Yi Qinfeng controlled the 9-dragon jade annulus to attack with all its might, but it intensified the number of cracks. Chaos divine would take root in the heaven and earth Tao diagram. More and more cracks appeared on the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Yi Qinfeng controlled the chaos divine would to extend a large number of 5-colored roots, taking root in the cracks of the heaven and earth Tao diagram and devouring it. After being devoured by the chaos divine wood, the heaven and earth Tao diagram was completely enraged. Endless pressure of heaven and earth seeped out, forcibly passing through the chaos divine wood and surging into Yi Qinfeng's body, wantonly destroying his meridians. Just now, when he forcefully controlled the 9-dragon jade annulus to attack, it had almost exhausted all of Yi Qinfeng's soul power. Now that he was facing the strongest counterattack of the heaven and earth Tao diagram, his situation was even worse. If he hadn't merged with the dragon heart and transformed into the god-fiend body, the heaven and earth Tao diagram's heaven and earth Tao diagram's heaven and earth Tao diagram would have already shattered his body. His injuries were getting worse and worse. His flame of life was extinguished, and his internal organs were constantly being pierced. However, Yi Qinfeng still didn't give up. He continued to inject qi and blood into the chaos divine wood, controlling it to devour the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Bang! When his body reached the limit of its endurance, a talisman he got from Shui Hanyan broke. releasing a powerful force to protect his body, temporarily relieving his life from danger. Under the frenzied devouring of the chaos divine wood, the power of the heaven and earth Tao diagram continued to weaken. However, it continued to gather and strengthen the power of Yi Qinfeng. Just as Yi Qinfeng felt his heart meridians shatter and his body explode, the second talisman that he had refined into his body also shattered. At this moment, the God-Eater brain, which was operating at high speed, deduced the mysteries of the true dragon transformation. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng's 7th grade dragon bloodline was completely ignited. According to the attack method deduced by the God-Eater brain, his broken body instantly transformed into an invincible divine dragon. With an unparalleled power, he ruthlessly crashed into the Tao diagram of the heavens and earth, which was full of cracks. Boom! Under Yi Qinfeng's dragon race attack, the Tao diagram of heaven and earth shook violently. The heaven Tao power contained in it rapidly decreased under the attack of the true dragon transformation. While the power of the Tao diagram was decreasing, Yi Qinfeng kept spitting essence blood into the chaos divine wood, increasing the devouring speed of the chaos divine wood. Finally, under the frenzied devouring of the chaos divine wood, the terrifying Tao diagram of heaven and earth was shattered. Yi Qinfeng completed his redemption in the desperate situation, successfully shattered the Tao diagram of heaven and earth, and survived the heaven tribulation. After devouring the Tao diagram of heaven and earth, the chaos divine would underwent a transformation. The power it contained was even more terrifying. The tree crown became luxuriant, and more than 2,000 five-colored divine leaves grew. When Yi Qinfeng kept the transformed chaos divine wood into his body, he immediately sensed that after the chaos divine would devour the Tao diagram of heaven and earth, the tree body contained a vast heaven Tao intent. He immediately got rid of all distracting thoughts. While controlling the life Tao pattern to heal his injuries, he controlled the God-devouring brain to understand. P.S. Isn't this great? Look at this great friend helping Yin lay cover her birthday cake. Thanks. Remember the URL. Sanwu Chinese Network. Chapter 772. Devour the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Witnessing the scene of the chaos divine with devouring the heaven and earth Tao diagram, the spirit fish, the king of massacre, and the others were deeply shocked. That shocking scene just now was like a brand that was deeply imprinted in the depths of their souls, causing them to never forget it, especially the king of massacre. He was completely convinced by Yi Qinfeng's shocking methods, and the last trace of resentment in his heart vanished. He didn't doubt that by following Yi Qinfeng, there would definitely be a wider stage, and his path of cultivation would become more colorful because of Yi Qinfeng. Rebirth. Boss has indeed been reborn after the baptism of the 5 elements heavenly tribulation and the heaven and earth Tao diagram. Everyone approached the area where Yi Qinfeng was undergoing the tribulation, and when they saw Yi Qinfeng sitting cross-legged, they once again revealed shocked expressions. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng's charred skin was constantly shedding, and the new skin emitted sparkling starlight, filled with powerful strength. His entire temperament had undergone a tremendous change, and he was like a phoenix that had been reborn from the flames and had successfully undergone nirvana. Let's go. Let's not disturb Qinfeng's cultivation. I want to pass the great tribulation, and he needs some time to digest the benefits brought by the heavenly tribulation. Fu Qingshan looked at the reborn Yi Qinfeng and let out a long sigh of relief. He didn't worry about him anymore and left with the others. Because the restrictions of the ancient North Sea were broken by the heavenly tribulation, a large amount of seawater poured into the ancient land. But no matter how the seawater surged, it couldn't get close to Yi Qinfeng's body and was isolated by the Tao intent that was constantly rising in his body. Fire Tao intent, 5th heavens, water Tao intent, 5th heavens with Tao intent, 5th heavens life Tao intent, 5th heavens after the baptism of the 5 elements, heavenly tribulation, and the life and death Tao diagram, A large amount of profound Tao intent was deeply imprinted in his body and bones. With the help of the Tao intent imprinted in his body, Yi Qinfeng continuously raised his comprehension of Tao intent. Time flew by, and a year passed quickly. After more than a year of cultivation, other than the Heaven Tao insight, Sword Tao insight, and Illusion Tao insight, he had raised all the other Tao insights he had comprehended to the fifth heavenly layer. Through the Chaos Divine Wood, he had comprehended the heaven and earth Tao diagram that had devoured and cultivated the heaven and earth Tao insight to the fifth heavenly layer. At the same time, the 3,000 years of his lifespan that he had burned also recovered under the nourishment of the fruit of life. First level of the heavenly Tao, sixth level of the Sword Tao, fifth level of the five elemental Tao, fifth level of the life and death Tao, fifth level of the heaven Tao, fifth level of the illusion Tao. Yi Qinfeng's comprehension of Tao insights had attained an unparalleled level. Especially the five-element Tao insights, life and death Tao insights, heaven and earth Tao insights that he'd comprehended, and they were all top-notch fusion Tao insights that were exceedingly formidable. In the entire Solda continent, only a handful of people had comprehended them, let alone a single person that had comprehended 3 great fusion Tao insights. I wonder if I can fight against a level 5 beast emperor with my current strength. After fusing with the dragon heart and comprehending the heavenly tribulation Tao insight that was branded in his body, Yi Qinfeng let out a mouthful of turbid air. His eyes flickered with dazzling light as he woke up after a year of comprehension. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng couldn't wait to test his strength. He wanted to see how much his strength had increased after breaking through to the level 1 beast emperor realm. Chengfeng, you've finally come out of seclusion. Sensing Yi Qinfeng's aura, the King of Massacre and the others, who were controlling the vermilion bird cauldron to refine the dragon heart, stopped cultivating and came to his side. What a powerful pressure! When the King of Massacre and the others saw Yi Qinfeng, they immediately felt an oppressive aura coming from him. They felt that facing Yi Qinfeng was like facing a terrifying divine beast. Yi Qinfeng's eyes contained an aura that could swallow dragons and serpents, which shook them to their core. Many thanks to all of you for protecting me and allowing me to successfully pass the heavenly tribulation. Yi Qinfeng took a deep breath and retracted the oppressive aura emitting from his body as he spoke slowly. Qinfeng, when you were undergoing the heavenly tribulation, we didn't help at all. It was all thanks to you that we were able to pass that crazy heavenly tribulation. Recalling the scene of Yi Qinfeng fighting the heavenly tribulation and reversing the heavens, Fu Qingshan and the others were still shocked. Third Uncle Fu, Lingyu, Xuehe, are you guys interested in competing with me? Yi Qinfeng looked at the 3 of them, who had obviously improved in strength, and asked with a smile. Sure. I was just thinking of competing with Big Brother Qingfeng, Lingyu said eagerly. The King of Massacre, Fu Qingshan's eyes flickered with strong fighting spirit. He wanted to compete with Yi Qinfeng. Come on then. With a thought, the Blood Dragon Emperor appeared on Yi Qinfeng's body. The terrifying dragons might directly isolated the seawater, forming a vacuum around Yi Qinfeng. Roar! The moment Yi Qinfeng summoned the Blood Dragon Emperor, Lingyu burned his bloodline power and transformed into the divine ape. His combat strength increased tremendously. He waved his fist, which was filled with explosive power, and punched at Yi Qinfeng. The moment Lingyu attacked, Fu Qingshan and the King of Massacre both transformed into their strongest beast soul forms. They attacked Yi Qinfeng from both sides. Yi Qinfeng didn't dodge when Lingyu and the other 2 attacked together. He quickly took a step forward, and 60 sword Tao patterns gushed out, strangling the 3 of them. When Lingyu relied on his absolute strength to tear apart the sword steps, Yi Qinfeng's fist and Lingyu's fist collided. In the next moment, the 2 powerful forces erupted like an erupting volcano. Dense ripples appeared in the seawater. Yi Qinfeng might have cultivated his true astral body to the first level, but his physical strength was far from Lingyu's. However, Yi Chen-feng didn't just use his physical strength to attack. His fist was also mixed with the terrifying heaven and earth Tao intent. Using the heaven and earth Tao intent, Yi Chen-feng didn't fall into a disadvantage. The terrifying Tao intent even shattered Ling Yu's fist and forced her to retreat. Subsequently, the 5 elemental Tao intent and the life and death Tao intent gushed out of Yi Chen-feng's body. They condensed into 2 Tao intent giant hands and ruthlessly slapped at the King of Massacre and Fu Qingshan, shattering their attacks. The 5th level of the 5 elemental Tao intent, heaven and earth Tao intent, and life and death Tao intent. After witnessing Yi Chen-feng's 3 Tao intents consecutively, the King of Massacre and Fu Qingshan revealed intense shock. No matter if it was the 5 elemental Tao intent, heaven and earth Tao intent, or life and death Tao intent, they were all things that they dreamed of and pursued for their entire lives. Not only did Yi Chen-feng comprehend the 3 most profound Tao intents at the same time, but he also comprehended them to the 5th level. This made them extremely envious. However, they knew that Yi Chen-feng risked his life for all of this. If it was them, under the terrifying 5 elemental tribulation and the baptism of the heaven and earth Tao diagram, not to mention comprehending Tao intent, even surviving would be a luxury. God's shaking fist. The King of Massacre and Fu Qingshan were still in shock. Ling Yu quickly stabilized her body and rushed at Yi Chen-feng to execute her inherited divine ability. It was as if doomsday had arrived and bombarded Yi Chen-feng. Profound underworld extreme Tao. As Ling Yu executed her innate divine ability, Yi Chen-feng decisively merged several Tao intents into his right fist and blasted out a terrifying profound underworld force. After merging the 5 elemental Tao intent, heaven and earth Tao intent, and life and death Tao intent, the power of the profound underworld extreme Tao reached an extremely terrifying level. It destroyed the God-shaking fist easily and blasted Ling Yu's huge body a few thousand meters away. Following that, Yi Chen-feng unleashed his ascended Tao intent to the extreme and continuously executed powerful Tao techniques to suppress Ling Yu's and the other 2's attacks. For a moment, the bottom of the North Sea was turbulent and the space trembled. Waves of destructive energy tore the space at the bottom of the sea and riddled it with holes. After about half an hour, Yi Chen-feng and the other 3's intense battle ended. In the end, it was Yi Chen-feng who had an overwhelming advantage. After merging the dragon heart and dragon bone, undergoing the 5 elemental tribulation, and the baptism of the heaven and earth Tao diagram, Yi Chen-feng's strength had undergone a qualitative leap. He was completely capable of fighting against a level 5 combat beast emperor. Remember the website, Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 773. Sister Piaoling, Yu Yu, Qing Shui, Yu Yan, all of you train well in Slaughter City. When I return from Xingluo continent, all of you will have a qualitative leap in strength. Yi Chen-feng stood under a huge ship and looked at the 5 beautiful and alluring Shui Piaoling and the others as he bade farewell to them softly. Chen-feng, be careful when you go to Xingluo continent. We will wait for you in Slaughter City. Ji Qing Shui tidied up Yi Chen-feng's clothes and said reluctantly, Primal Chaos, Dragon Bloodlion, I will leave Slaughter City to you. Kill anyone who tries to do anything to Slaughter City. As a precaution, Yi Chen-feng left the Chaos Divine Beasts, the Golden Clear Dragon Bloodlion, in Slaughter City. He also gave them a large amount of Heaven Beasts' demonic cores to guard Slaughter City. This was to prevent accidents from happening if there were no experts guarding Slaughter City. Don't worry, boss. With me and the lion here, we will not let your 5 wives suffer. When you return, I guarantee that each of them will be prettier than the other. The primal Chaos Divine Beast opened his white bone mouth and said roguishly, Get lost! As soon as the chaotic Divine Beast finished speaking, An enormous hand of the Tao insight of the 5 elements descended from the sky and smashed fiercely onto its body of bones, causing it to be directly blasted flying. "We are leaving. Take care of yourself." Yi Qinfeng bade farewell to the 5 beautiful women with blushing cheeks. Together with the king of slaughter, Fu Qingshan, and the spirit fish, they jumped onto the giant ship and left Slaughter City, heading towards the vast Xingluo continent. "Qingfeng, what do you think of Yu? Fu Qingshan walked to Yi Qinfeng and looked at the blue sea in the distance and asked softly, "Yu is very good. She is beautiful and talented. She is a rare beauty." Yi Qinfeng understood the meaning behind Fu Qingshan's words and continued, "But I am determined to pursue the supreme Tao. Before I reach the peak of martial arts, I will not let too many personal feelings affect my heart of martial arts." "Sai, Qingfeng, if it weren't for the fact that you're so outstanding, I would really hope that you would end up together. However, youth is fleeting and beauty is fleeting. With their talent, they are destined to be people of a different world from you." Fu Qingshan sighed softly. After witnessing the scene of Yi Qinfeng defying the heavens and breaking through the heavenly punishment, Fu Qingshan had no doubt that with Yi Qinfeng's heaven-defying talent, there would be a day when he would ascend to the heavenly region. When that time came, the separation between heaven and earth would be the cruelest thing for Fu Yueyue and the others. Yi Qinfeng took a deep breath and said solemnly, "Cultivating in defiance of the heavens has always been lonely. Furthermore, I don't know how far I can go on this path of cultivation." It could be said that Yi Qinfeng's words had exposed all the concerns in his heart. He could not help but think about his future with Eunuch Hang and felt a little melancholy. "Qingfeng, have you ever thought that cultivation is also the cultivation of the heart? Only when one's state of mind has reached a certain level can it be easier to comprehend the Tao and see through the essence of cultivation." Fu Qingshan leaned on the railing and said with deep meaning, "Cultivation, cultivation of the heart." Fu Qingshan's words were like a bell that shook Yi Qinfeng's soul. He pondered over it carefully and fell into deep thought. The sun was setting in the west, and the afterglow poured down. The beautiful golden specks, the isolated island, the seabirds, and the waves outlined a beautiful picture. In this beautiful picture, Yi Qinfeng sat cross-legged on the highest deck, feeling the changes in heaven and earth, feeling the waves of the sea, feeling the sunrise and sunset, cultivating the heart, comprehending the Tao. When Yi Qinfeng was cultivating the heart and comprehending the Tao, the God-Eater brain was also fusing the 2 soul fragments and comprehending the inheritance in the fragments. Xingluo continent, the largest continent in the North Sea. It was vast and boundless. There were rumors that the Xingluo continent originated from a meteorite, and the North Sea was also formed because of that meteorite. However, rumors were ultimately just rumors, and there was no way to verify them. The origin of the Xingluo continent could not be verified, but the strongest person in the Xingluo continent in millions of years, the Star Emperor, really did exist. It was rumored that he had once killed a supreme expert of the heaven domain in the Xingluo continent. There were even rumors that he was the reincarnation of a supreme expert of the heaven domain, and his divine abilities were shocking. The legend of the Star Emperor had been passed down for countless years, but no one had ever found his tomb. The Xingluo Imperial Mausoleum had become a mystery in the Xingluo continent. Yi Qinfeng had the map of the Xingluo Imperial Mausoleum in his hands, but no one knew whether it was real or not. "Young Master Yi, we should be arriving at the Xingluo continent soon. What are your plans when we arrive at the Xingluo continent?" The King of Massacre, who was wearing a black robe and exuding a sharp killing intent, came to the deck. He walked to the side of Yi Qinfeng, who was looking into the distance, and asked softly, "I'm preparing to go to the Xingluo Heaven City to kill a person," Yi Qinfeng said calmly. After a month of tempering his mental state, Yi Qinfeng's aura had undergone a huge change. The sharp aura had disappeared, and in its place was a scholarly demeanor. He looked like an ordinary person, and there was nothing to be said about him. His soul had fused with the two soul fragments. Not only was he stronger, but he had also obtained the alchemy and smithing inheritances from the heaven domain. Furthermore, he had comprehended the life Tao intent from one of the larger fragments and cultivated it to the seventh heavenly layer. Who are you going to kill? The King of Massacre asked curiously. Xingluo Heaven City's old city lord, Sha Tianya. Yi Qinfeng said without hiding anything. Sha Tianya. The King of Massacre opened his eyes wide, revealing a surprised expression as he said, Young Master Yi, Sha Tianya is not a simple person. You can say that he is extremely terrifying. According to common sense, he should have died a long time ago. However, until now he has always been alive. Not only has he always been alive, but his lover, Lian Xing, also did not die of old age. Furthermore, his method of immortality is not something an ordinary person can do. Blood River, do you know Sha Tinya's true strength? Yi Qinfeng was not surprised by Sha Tinya's immortality, but he was interested in his strength. Xingluo Heaven City's two main pillars, Sha Tinya and Lian Xing, have not appeared in public for several decades. However, according to my guess, the two of them should have broken through to the level 5 Beast Emperor realm, the King of Massacre said after pondering for a moment. Level 5 Beast Emperor. With Yi Qinfeng's current strength, he could definitely contend against an ordinary level 5 Beast Emperor expert. Furthermore, if the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus was used properly, he could even kill a level 5 Beast Emperor. Young Master Yi, if you really want to kill Sha Tinya, it's best not to do it in Xingluo Heaven City. In Xingluo Heaven City, Sha Tianya, Lian Xing, and the city lord, Sha Bingyan, can borrow the power of Xingluo Heaven City to increase their strength. They can also continuously replenish their soul power. It can be said that the three of them are almost invincible in Xingluo Heaven City. The King of Massacre told Yi Qinfeng everything he knew about Sha Tinya. They have such methods. Yi Qinfeng said in surprise, The inheritance of Xingluo Heaven City is very frightening, especially the triple lightning domain, the path of lightning calamity, and the 9 heavenly steps. It is a place that cultivators yearn for even in their dreams. The King of Massacre nodded and continued, The path of lightning calamity. Yi Qinfeng's brows twitched slightly as he said, Xingluo Heaven City actually has such a place? Yi Qinfeng knew the benefits of undergoing the lightning calamity. If he could continue to undergo the baptism of the lightning calamity, his comprehension of Tao intent would increase by another level. It's said that the path of lightning calamity and the 9 heavenly steps are the best places to cultivate intent. However, Xingluo Heaven City has very strict control over these 2 places. Unless one is a peerless genius, it's impossible to enter those 2 places to train. The King of Massacre said, Aren't we all considered peerless geniuses? The corners of Yi Qinfeng's mouth curled up slightly. He was very interested in the path of lightning calamity and the 9 heavenly steps in Xingluo Heaven City. He was prepared to go there first and increase his strength before looking for an opportunity to take revenge for the 8 Shawar Emperor. The ship rode the wind and broke through the waves. When dawn replaced the night and the first rays of the morning sun shone across the sea, Yi Qinfeng, who was standing on the deck, finally saw the boundless and majestic Xingluo continent. Remember the website, Sanwu Chinese Network. Chapter 774. It's so cold. The temperature of the Xingluo continent is much colder than the sea. The group docked the ship at a rather remote port and arrived at a simple town at the edge of the Xingluo continent. They discovered that the temperature here was very low. There were snowflakes floating in the sky, and many people in the town were wearing thick animal skins to protect themselves from the cold. Yi Qinfeng and the other 3 bought a map of the northern region of Xingluo and didn't stay any longer. They left the town and prepared to rest in a medium-sized city not far from here. Stop, it's a robbery. Yi Chenfeng's group of 4 had just walked out of the small town when 3 men dressed in tattered black animal skin robes with black veils covering their faces and holding large silver blades jumped out of the snow-covered mountain forest and shouted loudly, "Robbery!" Yi Chenfeng and the other 3 looked at each other and saw the laughter in each other's eyes. "You want to rob us?" They didn't expect to be robbed as soon as they arrived at the Xinluo continent. Moreover, the 3 men were only Earth Beast generals. "What are you laughing at? The 3 of us are only here for money. We don't want to kill anyone. If you know what's good for you, quickly hand over the money, and we will spare your lives." The skinny man with a sharp mouth and monkey-like cheeks warned fearlessly as he looked at Yi Chenfeng and the other 3. "What if we don't hand it over?" Yi Chenfeng asked with a smile, "Io, there are still people who don't fear death. If you don't know what's good for you, this marquis will let you know how many eyes this marquis has." The sharp-mouthed man waved the sword in his hand with all his might and sent out 2 slashes as he warned coldly, "I don't know how many eyes this marquis has, but if you don't scram, I will break your legs." Fu Qingshan said coldly, "How dare you disrespect the ominous 3 of the Black Wind?" "I rumble." Before the skinny man finished speaking, he suddenly felt the ground beneath his feet tremble. With Yi Chenfeng and the other 3 as the center, the hard ground suddenly cracked and spread towards the 3 of them at an extremely fast speed. Mother! Mother! Witnessing the scene in front of them, the 3 of them who had never seen such a scene before were scared out of their wits. Their legs trembled uncontrollably, and they almost fell to the ground, desperately retreating. Just as they were fleeing in panic, Yi Chenfeng mysteriously appeared behind them. He easily restrained them and used the power of the god Eater Brain to search their souls. If their hands were stained with blood, Yi Chenfeng wouldn't mind sending them to the afterlife. This figure. While searching their souls, Yi Chenfeng unexpectedly discovered a familiar figure in the minds of the 3. Furthermore, this familiar figure was not in a good situation, being chased by someone. "Seeing that the 3 of you didn't kill the innocent, I'll spare your lives. If you dare to rob again, you can wait for the poison to take effect and die." Yi Chenfeng forcefully stuffed 3 pills into their mouths and warned the 3, who were already scared out of their wits. He then flew into the air with the King of Massacre and the others, flying towards the depths of the snow forest. At this moment, in the depths of the snow forest that stretched for dozens of miles, there was an intense battle taking place. A large amount of blood splattered on the snow, staining it with blood. Don't make any unnecessary struggles. We have already set up an inescapable net here. You won't be able to escape. An old man wearing a dark gray robe with white hair and sunken eyes, giving off a ferocious feeling, was flying in the air. He looked at the 5 people gathered together, covered in wounds, and said in a deep voice, "Wind wings, in a moment, the 5 protectors and I will forcefully break through the encirclement. You quickly bring Miss you, and break out. No matter what price we have to pay, we must not let Miss you fall into their hands." The middle-aged man, who was wearing a white martial arts suit and had a sword wound so deep that his bones could be seen, took a deep breath and transmitted his voice to the young woman, who was surrounded in the middle of the crowd and whose face was pale. "Okay." The man called Wind Wings bit his lips and burned his bloodline power without hesitation. He was prepared to use his speed to forcefully break out of the encirclement with the trembling young woman whose lips had turned white. But at this moment, a series of ear-piercing sounds came from the snow-covered forest again. Several men in gray robes with murderous auras appeared, completely sealing off their escape route. Does Sun Luohal really want to fight to the death with my Bai clan? With their escape route sealed, the white-robed man and the other's hearts fell to the bottom. He roared hysterically, "Haha, fight to the death? Is your Bai clan worthy? It won't be long before your Bai clan disappears from the Xinluo continent. However, I'm afraid you won't live to see that day." The gray-robed old man laughed loudly and said arrogantly, "What should we do for protectors? With our strength, we can't bring Miss you out of this encirclement." Looking at the 16 gray-robed experts surrounding them and feeling the terrifying aura they were emitting, Windwings said with some panic, "If we don't try, how do we know we can't break out? Even if we die, I'll drag a few of you down with me." The white-robed man revealed a fearless expression and said decisively, "Windwings, if we fail to break out, the 5 protectors and I will die in battle. Immediately kill Miss you. We can't let her fall into their hands and be humiliated." Okay. Windwings also knew that with the young woman's stunning appearance and sexy body, if she fell into the hands of the Sun Luo Hall thugs, her life would be worse than death. He clenched his teeth and said, "Break out." Following the white-robed man's order, the 6 people of the Bai clan used all of their strength to attack the northwest direction. The terrifying attacks gathered together, wanting to break out of the encirclement together. Although the 6 people of the Bai clan launched their attacks at the brink of death, there were too many experts from the Sun Luo Hall who were far stronger than them. With their strength, they couldn't break out of the encirclement. Under the fierce and concentrated attacks, the 6 people of the Bai clan were quickly unable to hold on. Their injuries worsened, and in the end they were knocked to the ground by the experts from the Sun Luo Hall, losing the chance to break out. Bai Yu, stay. Kill the others without mercy. The gray-robed old man looked at Bai Yu, whose face was pale and blood was flowing from the corner of her mouth, and ordered without a trace of emotion, "I'm afraid you can't kill them." Just as the white-robed man and the others were about to self-destruct and launch a fatal blow, a deep voice filled with an undeniable meaning suddenly rang out. "Who is it?" The thunderous voice resounded in their ears. The gray-robed old man and the others, whose souls were trembling, changed their expressions greatly. They wanted to be the first to act and capture Bai Yu and the others. Their reactions could be said to be extremely fast, but the extreme cold that suddenly appeared in the snow forest was even faster. It enveloped the Sun Luo Hall experts at a speed that was difficult to see with the naked eye. Kachacha! Along with the sound of freezing ice, the 16 experts from the Sun Luo Temple were frozen by this sudden cold energy and turned into strange ice sculptures. Such a strange scene also shocked the Bai clan experts, who were trapped in a desperate situation, making them feel as if they had fallen into a deep dream. Mobile users, please browse to Reading. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 775. Thank you, Senior, for saving my life. The white-clothed man regained his senses and forced himself to stand up from the pool of blood. He bowed deeply toward the quiet snow forest and said gratefully, "You don't need to thank me. I saved you to repay the kindness of your Bai clan," Yi Qinfeng slowly said as he appeared with the King of Massacre and the other 3. As the identity of the King of Massacre was too sensitive, in order to avoid unnecessary trouble, he wore a mask made of a special material to hide his true appearance. "You, it's you!" When Bai Yu, who had just survived, saw Yi Qinfeng's familiar face, she was suddenly stunned. A kind of shock and excitement appeared on her beautiful face. She could not believe that the person who could easily freeze 16 experts of the Dark Azura Hall was Yi Qinfeng, whom she had met in Massacre City back then. "All right, your danger has been resolved. Quickly leave." Although Bai Yu was extremely beautiful and was a rare beauty, Yi Qinfeng did not have a good impression of her when he thought of her unruly and willful personality. He coldly left behind these words and turned to leave. Wait a moment. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng's group was about to leave, Bai Yu did not care about her injuries and the traces of spring on her body. She quickly crawled up from the ground and ran while shouting, "Can you save my sister?" Your sister is also in danger? Although Yi Qinfeng did not have a good impression of Bai Yu, he had a good impression of the delicate and elegant Bai Ziqing. Thinking of how she had helped him back then, Yi Qinfeng slowly turned around and coldly asked, "Yes, my sister was trapped by the people of the Dark Azura Hall in the Snowfall City Mansion, not far ahead. The Fifth Protector, Sixth Protector, and I took advantage of the chaos to escape and call for reinforcements. However, we were unfortunately discovered and were pursued." Bai Yu, whose face was slightly pale, crossed her arms in front of her chest to cover her breasts as she quickly narrated. The Snowfall City Mansion. Yi Qinfeng took out the map he just bought and confirmed the location of the Snowfall City Prefecture. He flew up into the air and said, "Let's go. We're going to the Snowfall City Prefecture." After saying that, 4 ear-piercing sounds rang out. Yi Qinfeng and the other 3 left 4 afterimages in the air and flew away at an extremely fast speed. How did you get to know those 4 combat beast emperors? Which power did they come from? Seeing Yi Qinfeng's group of 4 flying away, the 5 protectors immediately confirmed that Yi Qinfeng's group were all combat beast emperors and asked curiously, "Battle beast emperor expert?" Bai Yu's beautiful big eyes widened as she said in disbelief, "That's impossible. He can't be a battle beast emperor expert." "Flying in the void. That's the mark of a battle beast emperor expert." How did you know them?" Seeing Bai Yu's shocked expression, the 5 protectors were puzzled. "That white-clothed man is the Yi Qinfeng that my sister mentioned before. We met him in Slaughter City. At that time, he was only at the mystic beast ancestor realm, about the same as me," Bai Yu explained in detail. "What? From the mystic beast ancestor realm to the battle beast emperor realm in less than 10 years. Is this guy even human?" The 5 protectors and the others sucked in a cold breath. They finally knew why Bai Yu had lost her composure earlier. "Let's go. We should hurry back to the Snowfall City Prefecture as well. I hope we can make it in time." With that, the 5 protectors, Bai Yu, and the others ignored their injuries and quickly rushed back to the Snowfall City Prefecture. "Bai Ziqing, don't waste your time waiting. No one will come to save you. Just surrender obediently. If you're willing to remove the formation, I promise I won't harm your lives." A 2-meter-tall man wearing a black martial arts suit with a ghost face tattooed on his shoulder said coldly. He had long black hair draped over his shoulders, giving off a ferocious feeling. He had his hands behind his back as he looked at Bai Ziqing and the others who were sitting cross-legged in the rune formation, and healing their injuries. Bai Ziqing and the others who were sitting cross-legged turned a deaf ear to the black-clothed man's warning. How patient! The corners of the black-clothed man's mouth curled up slightly. He waved his hand and signaled his subordinates to bring over 20 unarmed residents to the rune formation. He viciously said, "Bai Ziqing, if you don't remove the formation, I'll immediately kill them. I don't think you want to see them lose their lives because of you, right? No, don't kill me. I beg you, don't kill me." Feeling the killing intent from the Dark Azura Hall's experts, the residents of the Snowfall City Prefecture were terrified. They constantly begged for mercy, crying and begging. Bai Ziqing didn't expect the Dark Azura Hall's people to be so despicable, using the lives of innocent residents to threaten her. Her expression instantly changed as she spoke through gritted teeth. "I'll count to 3. If you don't give up resisting and surrender, don't blame me for being merciless." The black-clothed man looked at Bai Ziqing's furious face and revealed a smug smile as he threatened. "You're so despicable." Looking at the innocent eyes and hearing their cries of despair, Bai Ziqing's heart was in a mess. "Young miss, you can't fall into their trap. If you fall into their hands, you'll suffer a fate worse than death." An old man with bloodstains on his body and bloody scars on his chest looked at Bai Ziqing as she bit her lips and made a fierce decision. He tightly grabbed her arm and said solemnly, This old man, who was heavily injured, was the sixth elder by Hongyun, who had helped Yi Qinfeng deal with the experts from Xingluo Heaven City. But Bai Ziqing also knew the consequences of falling into the hands of the Dark Azure Hall. But her kind heart couldn't bear to see innocent people die because of her. Just as she was hesitating, the merciless black-clothed man waved his arm and slashed out a black light, directly chopping off the heads of 5 innocent people. A large amount of blood spurted out like a fountain, dyeing the ground red. Bai Ziqing, my patience is limited. If you continue to resist stubbornly, I'll kill everyone in the city. The black-clothed man stepped on the head of a person who had died with his eyes wide open and warned coldly, I can go with you, but you must promise me that you'll capture me and let everyone here go, including the sixth elder and the others. Bai Ziqing tightly bit her pale lips and spoke resolutely like a cold and arrogant winter sweet. Our goal is you. Once we capture you, we naturally won't kill the innocent. The black-clothed man looked at Bai Ziqing's delicate face and tall figure and revealed a sinister smile. Young miss, you can't do anything stupid. Bai Hongyun ignored his injuries and stood up. He tightly grabbed Bai Ziqing's arm to prevent her from doing anything stupid. Sixth elder, before the battle between my Bai clan and the Dark Azure Hall is decided, the Dark Azure Hall won't easily harm me. Moreover, I can't watch those innocent people die because of me. Moreover, our formation won't be able to hold on for long. Once Er's request for reinforcements fails, we will definitely have to fight to the death with the Dark Azure Hall. Rather than that, I might as well sacrifice myself and save everyone. Bai Ziqing resolutely said, Young miss, they're a group of despicable people. You can't believe their words. Bai Hongyun loudly advised. Puff, puff, puff. While Bai Hongyun was persuading Bai Ziqing, the black-clothed man lost his patience and continued to kill. Flowers of blood bloomed in the air. With a wave of his hand, the black-clothed man exploded the heads of 6 innocent people, ending their lives. Stop! Looking at the miserable scene before her, Bai Ziqing felt as if her heart had been ruthlessly smashed by a heavy hammer. She fiercely shook off Bai Hongyun's hand and coldly and fearlessly walked out of the formation. Bai clan disciples, heed my order. We'll fight them to the death. Bai Hongyun quickly swallowed a heaven-rank soul pill to stabilize his injuries. He withdrew the defensive formation and followed behind Bai Ziqing, preparing to fight to the death with the Dark Azure Hall experts. Mobile users, please browse to M. Read. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 776. Everyone listen up. Kill everyone except Bai Ziqing. Looking at the cold and arrogant Bai Ziqing, the black-clothed man revealed a trace of a cold smile and ordered loudly, You didn't keep your promise. Hearing the black-clothed man's order, Bai Ziqing's face turned pale as she roared angrily. Promise? What's a promise? The black-clothed man said mockingly. Bai Ziqing, you're so naive that you're a little cute. Bai clan disciples, listen up. Activate your self-detonation attacks and help Miss break out of this encirclement. Looking at the ferocious Dark Azure Hall experts, Bai Hongyun recklessly ignited the power of his bloodline and roared in the face of death. Just as Bai Hongyun's voice fell, the Xingluo Hall experts' expressions changed. With their strength, they had complete control over the Bai clan's life and death. However, if Bai Hongyun and the others went all out and activated their self-detonation attacks, it would be a fatal blow to them. Sixth Elder, Bai Ziqing's heart, also became flustered. Miss, don't let our sacrifice go to waste. You must break out of this encirclement and invite reinforcements for our Bai clan. Bai Hongyun, who is now a 6th-grade defiant beast monarch, charged toward the black-robed man and allowed him to unleash a lethal soul skill upon his body. He ignited his burning bloodline power and unleashed a lethal attack. The moment Bai Hongyun activated his self-detonation attack, several Bai clan experts also detonated their bodies and launched their self-detonation attacks, attacking the Sanluo Hall experts whose expressions had changed greatly. In an instant, the terrifying power of the self-detonation formed a terrifying shockwave that violently exploded. Countless rocks flew everywhere, and the ground cracked open. 6 Sanluo Hall experts who couldn't dodge in time were directly killed by the shockwave. Although the others managed to dodge in time, they were still injured by Bai Hongyun's self-detonation attack. They vomited blood and fell to the ground with serious injuries. 6th Elder! Bai Ziqing only felt her heart break when she saw Bai Hongyun and the others explode their bodies. However, she knew that now wasn't the time to grieve. She clenched her teeth and stubbornly condensed her soul wings and quickly escaped from the Snowfall City residence. Where do you think you're going? The heavily injured, black-clothed man saw Bai Ziqing break out of the encirclement and quickly swallowed a pill to stabilize his injuries and quickly chased after her. The black-clothed man was a half-step combat beast emperor expert. Even if he was injured, his speed was still much faster than Bai Ziqing. In just over 10 breaths of time, he caught up to Bai Ziqing, who was desperately trying to escape. He injured her with 3 palm strikes and stopped her outside the Snowfall City mansion. Bai Ziqing, surrender obediently. You won't be able to escape from my grasp. The black-clothed man looked at the disheveled Bai Ziqing with a burning gaze. If it wasn't for her special status, the black-clothed man would have already lost control of the flame in his heart and pushed the elegant and beautiful Bai Ziqing to the ground. Even if I die, I won't let you have your way. Bai Ziqing bit her lips tightly, her beautiful eyes revealing the will to die. Die. Do you think it's possible for you to die in front of me? The black-clothed man sneered, and an ice-cold qi shot out from his fingertips, instantly piercing into Bai Ziqing's body, freezing her heart and meridians, not giving her a chance to self-destruct. In the next moment, the black-clothed man shot out a cold light from his fingertips, attacking Bai Ziqing's chest. He wanted to tear her clothes apart to reveal her alluring body and take a peek at her beauty. Bai Ziqing had a look of despair on her face as she stared helplessly at the incoming cold light. However, as a 3rd-level Beast King, she was powerless to shatter the cold qi in her body. She could only close her eyes helplessly as tears of humiliation flowed down her cheeks. 1 second, 2 seconds. Bai Ziqing, who had her eyes closed, waited for 10 breaths of time, but there was no sound of her clothes tearing. Just as she opened her eyes, she saw a person appear behind the black-clothed man. Her eyes widened in despair, and she was stunned as if she had been struck by lightning. Yi Qinfeng. Bai Ziqing rubbed her eyes and was dumbfounded when she saw Yi Qinfeng's familiar face. She couldn't believe that when she was at her most helpless and desperate, Yi Qinfeng would suddenly appear like a divine soldier and save her. Kacha! While Bai Ziqing was in a daze, Yi Qinfeng circulated the soul-devouring art and devoured the black-clothed man's soul beast. He crushed the black-clothed man's head and killed him. Bai Ziqing, are you all right? Looking at the dumbfounded Bai Ziqing, Yi Qinfeng smiled and asked softly, Yi Qinfeng, is it really you? Even until now, Bai Ziqing still felt like she was in a dream. She said timidly. Suddenly, an extremely fast light arrow appeared. It was like a shooting star, flashing in the air and shooting towards Bai Ziqing's back. Be careful. Seeing this strange light arrow piercing through Bai Ziqing's back, Yi Qinfeng blocked in front of Bai Ziqing. He stretched out 2 fingers and caught the light arrow. Sir, you are quite skilled. You actually caught my soul-chasing arrow with your fingers. At this time, a well-proportioned man wearing a black skull-patterned robe with a centipede scar on his face appeared. He was holding a black bow with a beast head on it. Behind him were more than 10 Sun Luo Hall experts who were injured by Bai Hongyun and the others' self-destruction. And demonic qi. He has demonic qi in his body. When the scarred man appeared, Yi Qinfeng frowned slightly. His powerful soul spirit detected a trace of faintly discernible demonic qi on the scarred man's body. This trace of demonic qi was very similar to the demonic qi on Shui Hanyan, the immortal island master, and the others. It was suspected that they came from the same race. Could it be that the Octave Divine Nation has extended their hands to the Xingluo continent? Thinking of Shui Hanyan's identity, Yi Qinfeng thought in his heart. He smelled a trace of a conspiracy. Beast Emperor expert. Feeling the mountain-like aura emitted by the scarred man, Bai Ziqing's expression changed greatly. She immediately grabbed Yi Qinfeng's arm and said anxiously, "Yi Qinfeng, don't worry about me. This is a grudge between my Bai family and the Sun Luo Hall. Don't interfere. Don't worry, I can kill him like killing a chicken." The scarred man was only a rank 1 beast emperor. He posed no threat to Yi Qinfeng. Moreover, the king of massacre, Ling Yu, and Fu Qingshan were hiding in the surroundings. "Ha ha ha, what an arrogant brat. When I capture you later, I will crush all the bones in your body. Let's see if you can still be so stubborn then." The scarred man laughed loudly and said savagely. After speaking, he poured all the soul power in his body into the beast head bow in his hand. He quickly drew the bow and shot an arrow towards Yi Qinfeng. Numerous light arrows, filled with powerful destructive power, shot towards him. Yi Qinfeng did not dodge or evade. Instead, he walked towards the light arrows as if he was taking a stroll in the park. When the light arrows were half a meter away from Yi Qinfeng, they were shattered by the powerful soul power emitted from his body. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng stepped out with sword steps and appeared in front of the scarred man who had turned pale with fright. Incomparably sharp sword runes shot out and pierced through his defense like a hot knife through butter. The scarred man's body was riddled with holes. A large amount of blood gushed out like a fountain. The scarred man fell heavily into a pool of blood, heavily injured. The scene of Yi Qinfeng heavily injuring the scarred man with a single step deeply shocked the experts of the Sun Luo Hall. It caused them to sink into a deep fear that they could not extricate themselves from. Without even thinking, they turned around and ran. Mobile users, please browse to M. Read. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 777. Kacha! While the Sunluo Temple experts were escaping, the dual polarity ancient heavenly water shot out of Yi Qinfeng's body and rapidly froze the experts, breaking through their defenses and turning them into ice sculptures. So powerful! Seeing the Sunluo Temple experts who had forced her into a corner being turned into ice sculptures by Yi Qinfeng in the blink of an eye, Bai Ziqing's heart trembled once again. Her gaze towards Yi Qinfeng changed greatly. Like Bai Yu, she could not believe that in less than 10 years, Yi Qinfeng had the ability to kill battle beast emperor experts in a second. Pooh! You, who are you exactly? After witnessing Yi Qinfeng's shocking strength, the scarred man no longer had his arrogance. A trace of fear appeared in his eyes as he clutched his bleeding body and said weakly, "Brother, Yi, please don't be so arrogant. You don't need to know who I am. Instead, I am very interested in your identity." After saying that, Yi Qinfeng appeared behind him in a flash and pressed his right hand on the scarred man's head. He wanted to use the power of the God-Eater brain to search the scarred man's soul and find out his identity. However, when the power of the God-Eater brain surged into the scarred man's soul, it accidentally triggered the restriction hidden in his soul sea. Following that, the restriction in his soul sea self-destructed, directly crushing his soul and exploding his head. A large amount of blood splattered in the air. What a brilliant method. This person's background is definitely not simple. Although the soul search failed, Yi Chen-feng could clearly feel the demonic aura from the scarred man's body. He could basically confirm that this person had an unclear relationship with the Octahead divine nation. Young Master Yi, we have searched the surrounding dozens of miles and did not find anyone suspicious. At this time, the King of Massacre, Fu Qingshan and Lingyu appeared and reported the situation around the Snowfall City Prefecture to Yi Chen-feng. Battle, Beast Emperor. Although the King of Massacre deliberately hid his aura, Bai Ziqing still felt a strong sense of danger when she looked at him. She guessed that the King of Massacre should be a Battle, Beast Emperor expert. Bai Ziqing, are there any other experts from your Bai clan in the Snowfall City? Yi Chen-feng nodded at the King of Massacre before turning his gaze to Bai Ziqing, who was still in a state of shock. No more. In order to help me break out of the encirclement, Sixth Elder and the others didn't hesitate to self-destruct and perish together with several Dark Azura Hall experts. Bai Ziqing's expression was gloomy as she said, You and the others secretly left the Snowfall City to ask for reinforcements. I don't know what the situation is like now. Sixth Elder is dead. That year in the Northern Sea, it was thanks to the assistance of the 6th and 10th Elders that he was able to kill the experts from Xingluo Heaven City and escape unscathed. Now that he knew of his death, Yi Chen-feng couldn't help but sigh. He regretted not being able to save him and repay his kindness. Baiyu, you don't have to worry. I saved her on the way here, and she was the one who begged me to save you. Yi Chen-feng said softly, That's great. I'm relieved that you are as fine. Young Master Yi, my Bai family will never forget your kindness. After hearing the news of Baiyu being saved, Bai Ziqing's heart finally settled down. However, the crisis of the Bai family was like a huge mountain that pressed down on her heart. Young Master Yi, I beg of you to help the Bai family help me. If young Master Yi is willing to help, I am willing to agree to any of your requests. Thinking of Yi Chen-feng's shocking strength, Bai Ziqing bit her lips and suddenly knelt down in the snow, begging pitifully. Hey, get up first. Looking at the pitiful Bai Ziqing kneeling on the ground with red eyes, Yi Chen-feng sighed softly. He released a strand of gentle soul power and gently lifted her up. Young Master Yi, my Bai family is in a very dangerous situation right now. If I can't get reinforcements, my Bai family will very likely be destroyed by the Dark Azura Hall, the Jasper Palace, and the Xiahou family. Bai Ziqing told Yi Chen-feng the Bai family situation. How do you want me to help you? Yi Chen-feng owed the Bai family a huge favor in the past. He also had a good impression of the kind-hearted and pure Bai Ziqing, so he asked softly, You, 6th Elder, and I left the Bai family to get reinforcements from the Jiang family. If the Jiang family is willing to help, our two families can work together to solve the crisis before us. However, the Jiang family is too far away. I wonder if young Master Yi can protect us two sisters and go to the Jiang family to get reinforcements? Bai Ziqing looked at Yi Chen-feng tenderly and begged, Are you so sure that the Jiang family will help your Bai family? Yi Chen-feng asked back. Right now, the Jasper Palace is being controlled by a mysterious force and has already fallen. If our Bai family falls as well, the Jiang family will definitely follow in our footsteps. Therefore, they have no other choice. Only by joining forces with our Bai family will they have a chance to survive this calamity, said Bai Ziqing. Bai Ziqing, do you know where the mysterious force controlling the Jasper Palace comes from? Yi Chen-feng knew that the Jasper Palace was the same as the Bai family, Sun Luo Hall, and Jiang family. They were the 4 strongest families outside of Xingluo Heaven City. The Jasper Palace's old palace master, Zhang Biue, was the fairy of Bihua from the 9-dragon jade annulus. Her strength was extremely terrifying, and the fact that the Jasper Palace was controlled made Yi Chen-feng suspect that the mysterious force controlling Zhang Biue and the Jasper Palace was most likely an expert from the 8 branches divine nation. I don't know. My Bai family has investigated many ways, but we still haven't found the mysterious force controlling the Jasper Palace." Bai Ziqing shook her head and said, "Then does the Xingluo Heaven City know about the internal strife in the Xingluo continent?" Yi Qinfeng continued asking. "Logically speaking, the Xingluo Heaven City should know. However, when the Jasper Palace is in trouble, they didn't interfere in the dispute between my Bai family and the Sun Luo Hall." Bai Ziqing said, "Could it be that the Xingluo Heaven City is also connected to the 8 branches divine nation?" Yi Qianfeng felt that the situation in the Xingluo continent was becoming more and more complicated. He didn't expect that he would be involved in such a huge conspiracy the moment he arrived in the Xingluo continent. However, Yi Qianfeng came to the Xingluo continent this time not only to kill Sha Tianya and avenge the 8 Xiao War Emperor, but also to take control of the Xingluo Heaven City and make himself the city lord. However, now that the Xingluo continent was shrouded in a conspiracy, he felt that it wouldn't be easy to take control of the Xingluo Heaven City. However, if he could resolve the Bai family's crisis and take the opportunity to pull the Jiang family onto his warship, he would have the chance to crush the conspiracy against the Xingluo Heaven City with the help of the 2 super families. At that time, his chances of taking control of the Xingluo Heaven City would increase greatly. Moreover, Yi Qianfeng was a person who would repay kindness. Bai Ziqing had done him a favor in the past, so when she was at her most helpless, Yi Qianfeng couldn't just stand by and watch. "Bai Ziqing, when your sister arrives, we will escort you to the Jiang family." After pondering for a while, Yi Qianfeng made up his mind and promised. "Thank you." Yi Qianfeng's words were like a warm current that flowed into Bai Ziqing's heart, calming her despairing and cold heart. She was so excited that she couldn't control herself. While waiting for Bai Yu and the others, Bai Ziqing buried the corpses of Bai Hongyun and the others. Meanwhile, Yi Qianfeng used the power of the God-Eater brain to search the souls of more than 10 experts from the Sun Luo Hall. Other than knowing that there would be experts blocking the way ahead, he didn't obtain any other valuable information. With a wave of his hand, he killed more than 10 experts from the Sun Luo Hall who were frozen by the dual polarity ancient heavenly water. After collecting their belongings, Yi Qianfeng and the others waited patiently. Finally, after more than 2 hours, Bai Yu and the others arrived. When they learned that Yi Qianfeng had heavily injured an emperor-level expert with a single kick and turned the tide, they were completely stunned by his strength. "All right, time's up. Let's go to the Jiang family." Yi Qianfeng didn't waste any time. He led the Bai family away from the bloody outskirts of Snowfall City and flew toward the Thousand Cloud City, where the Jiang family was located. Mobile users, please browse to M. Read. Mobile reading site. Book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 778. It's getting dark. Let's rest in the mountain range ahead. Yi Qianfeng and the others flew for more than half a day. When the sky gradually darkened, they landed in the depths of a mountain range that stretched for hundreds of miles. There were thousands of peaks in the mountains, towering ancient trees and winding vines, which looked like a huge dragon sitting cross-legged. "Qingfeng, what have you been through all these years? How did your strength increase so quickly?" Along the way, the relationship between Yi Qianfeng and Bai Ziqing had become much closer. The two of them no longer addressed each other as strangers. Bai Ziqing asked as she started a fire and roasted a fat mountain boar that was dripping with oil. "I've been through many things all these years. However, your strength has increased quickly as well. You're already a level 3 defiant beast king." Yi Qianfeng drank a mouthful of spring water that exuded traces of spirit qi. He looked at the pure and charming Bai Ziqing and spoke softly. "I'm still far from being comparable to you. If only I had your strength, I would be able to help the clan fend off the enemies." Thinking about the crisis the Bai clan was in, Bai Ziqing couldn't help but sigh. Her exquisite face revealed deep worry. Don't worry, everything will pass. Your Bai clan will definitely survive this calamity. Yi Qinfeng smiled and consoled her. I hope so. Bai Ziqing sighed softly and said faintly, Sister Bai, I'm so hungry. Is this boar done? Looking at the mountain boar that was roasted to a golden color with fat oozing out of it, the spirit fish's mouth watered as its stomach growled. It's done, we can eat now. Looking at the cute baby head and rosy cheeks of the spirit fish, Bai Ziqing smiled. She gently stroked the head of the spirit fish and cut off a piece of roasted pork for her. Chengfeng, the Xingluo continent is very dangerous. Aren't you afraid that something will happen to the spirit fish? As the spirit fish had intentionally concealed her strength, Bai Ziqing didn't know how terrifying she was. She was worried about her safety. Don't worry. The spirit fish has the ability to protect herself. Yi Qinfeng smiled and said, I'm very strong. If anyone dares to hurt me, I'll crush them with a single punch. The spirit fish, whose mouth was filled with oil, nodded. The night was getting darker, and the crescent moon shone brightly, illuminating the forest with specks of silver light. Just as the group tasted Bai Ziqing's superb cooking skills and finished the entire boar, Yi Qinfeng's sharp senses suddenly sensed danger approaching. Everyone be careful. There's danger. Yi Qinfeng abruptly opened his eyes. 2 rays of light shot out from his eyes as he reminded her in a low voice. Wung wung wung. Just as Yi Qinfeng reminded them, an ear-piercing sound of friction rang out in the dark and silent forest. A large amount of dim lights appeared in the forest, covering the sky and covering the earth as they surged towards them. Poisonous insects. Yi Qinfeng and the rest already had night vision. They saw that the dim light that suddenly appeared in the forest was a poisonous insect the size of a sparrow. It had sharp teeth, poisonous thorns all over its body, and it flapped its emerald wings. Although a single poisonous insect couldn't pose a threat to Bai Ziqing and the rest, tens of thousands of them posed a fatal threat to them. Moreover, the poisonous insects emitted a deadly poisonous gas that threatened the lives of Bai Ziqing and the rest. Stay close to me. Don't be more than 3 meters away from me. Yi Qinfeng immediately instructed, following which a flame that could burn the heavens and earth erupted from his body, isolating the entire space. Under the burning of the death blaze, the space around Yi Qinfeng's body was distorted. The scorching temperature ignited the surrounding ancient trees, turning the dark night sky into day. The heavenly fire was the nemesis of poisonous insects. The moment the poisonous insects got close to the death blaze heavenly fire, they were immediately burned to ashes by the scorching death blaze heavenly fire. They couldn't even touch Yi Qinfeng and the others. Heavenly fire? I didn't expect that one of you had actually subdued a type of heavenly fire. A large number of poisonous insects were burned to death by the death blaze. A hoarse voice echoed in the chaotic forest as a strange black figure appeared like a ghost. Sky Poison Elder. Seeing the sudden appearance of the black figure, the expression of the Bai clan's protector changed greatly. He recognized the old man in front of him. He was the Sky Poison Elder, a peak rank 2 combat beast emperor. His name struck terror in the hearts of people in the Xingluo continent. His hands were stained with the blood of innocent people. Little kid, I didn't expect you to subdue a type of heavenly fire. I wonder if I can get the heavenly fire you subdued after eating you? The Sky Poison Elder looked at Yi Qinfeng fiercely and said with a hoarse voice. It was as if Yi Qinfeng was a delicious dinner in his eyes, and the heavenly fire that was almost extinct in the Duhan continent was already in his bag. Sky Poison Elder, my Bai clan has never offended you. Please be magnanimous and let us go. As long as Senior lets us go, I'm willing to give Senior 100 million soul crystals as a reward. Bai Ziqing took a deep breath and suppressed the panic in her heart as she promised. Although Bai Ziqing knew that Yi Qinfeng was very strong, The difference in strength between combat beast emperors was too great. Moreover, the poison Tao intent that the sky poison elder comprehended was extremely terrifying. He could fight against an ordinary rank 3 combat beast emperor expert, and if she was hit by his poison Tao intent, there was no cure. Your by clan indeed didn't offend me, but unfortunately, the Dark Azura Hall has given me a generous reward to bring you back. Moreover, if I capture you, everything on you will be mine. You're just 2 little girls. Seeing how beautiful the 2 of you are, if you serve me well, I won't torture the 2 of you. The Sky Poison Elder was indifferent to Bai Ziqing's promise, as he spoke with a burning gaze. Are you done talking? Yi Qinfeng looked at the ferocious and tyrannical Sky Poison Elder with a torch-like gaze and asked in a calm voice. Yes, looking at Yi Qinfeng's calm expression, the Sky Poison Elder frowned slightly. If you're done, you can go to hell. Yi Qinfeng slowly said, Brat, don't think that you're invincible just because you've subdued a heavenly fire. Once I capture you, I will let you taste all the pain in the world. The Sky Poison Elder's eyes were filled with dense killing intent as he looked at Yi Qinfeng and spoke in a hoarse voice. Big brother Qinfeng, leave this kind of small fry to me. I'll beat him up until even his mother won't recognize him. The spirit fish's beautiful big eyes flickered with a strong fighting spirit as she spoke eagerly. No, spirit fish, the Sky Poison Elder is very powerful. If you fight with him, you'll lose your life. Bai Ziqing was afraid that the cute little spirit fish would be in danger and spoke nervously. Don't worry, Ziqing. The spirit fish is more than enough to deal with him. Yi Qinfeng said with a smile. Spirit fish, end this quickly. Don't waste time. Yi Qinfeng urged. Don't worry, big brother Qinfeng. I won't need an incense stick's worth of time to defeat him. The spirit fish said confidently as a powerful aura was released from her petite body. Feeling the aura released by the spirit fish getting stronger and stronger, Bai Ziqing and Bai Yu found it difficult to breathe. They were so shocked that their mouths were wide open and their eyes were wide. The Sky Poison Elder no longer had a look of contempt on his face. His old face that was filled with cracks revealed a look of surprise. As the spirit fish cracked the hard ground with a stomp, she flew into the air with an astonishing strength. She punched out with an explosive force and launched a destructive attack at the Sky Poison Elder. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You'll be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 779. You're courting death. As the spiritual fish punched over, a giant poisonous toad emerged from the Sky Poison Elder's body and let out an earth-shattering roar at the spiritual fish. Dense water ripples appeared in the air and crashed towards the spiritual fish. Boom! The terrifying sound wave collided with the spiritual fish's fist and shattered without any suspense. Subsequently, the spiritual fish shattered the void with a stomp, releasing an incomparably powerful aura as it appeared in front of the Heaven Poison Elder. Its small fists were filled with power, smashing out terrifying fist lights one after another as they bombarded the Heaven Poison Elder. When the spiritual fish attacked with all her strength, the bloodline power in her body was activated bit by bit. The terrifying power was like a violent ocean that instantly suppressed the Sky Poison Elder's attack and forced him to retreat. So powerful. The spiritual fish is so powerful. Witnessing the spiritual fish suppressing the Sky Poison Elder, Bai Ziqing, Bai Yu, and the rest were stunned on the spot and revealed a dumbfounded expression. They couldn't believe that the lively and cute spiritual fish was actually a peerless expert. The spiritual fish hasn't used her full strength yet. If she did, the Sky Poison Elder would probably be dead. Yi Qinfeng knew how terrifying the spiritual fish's transformation into a divine ape was. Even he had to rely on the dragon's bloodline or the fiend god's bloodline to suppress it. Beast soul form. The Sky Poison Elder didn't expect the spiritual fish's combat strength to be so terrifying. He was at a disadvantage after just exchanging blows. He immediately merged with his spiritual beast and ignited his bloodline power to transform into his beast soul form. The spiritual beast of the Sky Poison Elder was a poisonous toad. After transforming into his beast soul form, his entire body became even uglier. His entire body was covered with lumps and looked extremely disgusting. Poison Tao intent, myriad poison tide. After transforming into his beast soul form, the Sky Poison Elder immediately used his poison Tao intent to detonate the lumps on his body, forming a terrifying poison tide that swept towards the spiritual fish. Ayo, ayo, ayo. As the billowing poison tide came, a terrifying divine ape's shadow appeared on the spiritual fish's body. It pounded its chest with its fists and released a sound wave that could pierce through clouds and shatter rocks, dispersing the terrifying poison tide. Poison Tao intent, myriad snake dance. The poison tide was dispersed, and the Heaven Poison Elder exerted the poison Tao insight to the limit, fusing with the poison energy contained in his body to condense into a dense mass of venomous snakes that bared their long fangs and bit towards the spirit fish. 45 million gene explode. When faced with the attack of the myriad of snakes condensed from the poison Tao insight, the spirit fish erupted with a strength that shook the heavens and the earth, and it surged out of its body and minced the numerous snakes of poison that approached it into pieces. The poisonous snakes were crushed by the rolling power, but the deadly poison released by the poisonous snakes was even more terrifying. A large amount of the strong poison was like maggots, drilling into the spirit fish's body through the pores of its body and corroding it. Die. As the spiritual fish was devoured by the deadly poison, the Sky Poison Elder revealed a ferocious expression. A walking stick with a snake head embedded in it appeared in his hand, and he stabbed it toward the chest of the spiritual fish like a hot knife through butter. Not good. The spiritual fish is in danger. Seeing that the spirit fish was in danger, Bai Ziqing instantly grew anxious. She turned her head to look at Yi Qinfeng, only to discover that he had a calm expression and wasn't worried about the safety of the spirit fish. Landslide. Seeing that the Sky Poison Elder's walking stick was about to pierce the spiritual fish's body, the bloodline power in the spiritual fish's body erupted, instantly suppressing the corrosion of the poison Tao insight. It erupted with the power of landslide and blasted a fist on the snake-headed walking stick. Crack! A crisp cracking sound rang out. The extreme celestial artifact, snake-headed walking stick, couldn't withstand the inherited ability of the spirit fish and shattered. The terrifying power passed through the walking stick and madly surged into the Sky Poison Elder's body, causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood as he retreated in defeat. Star-plucking palm. After injuring the Sky Poison Elder with a punch, the spiritual fish continued to attack. The rolling power of the bloodline formed a dazzling hand that covered the sky. It was like a huge star that broke through layers of air and ruthlessly smashed onto the Sky Poison Elder, who was spitting out blood. It shattered his backbones and directly slammed him into the ground from midair. A huge crater was created in the hard mountain, and the rumbling sound spread out for miles. You! How can you ignore the attack of the poison Tao insight? The severely injured Sky Poison Elder crawled out of the crater and looked at the spiritual fish that didn't show any signs of being poisoned. He revealed an expression as if he had seen a ghost. Yeah, Chengfeng. How can the spiritual fish ignore the Sky Poison Elder's poison Tao insight? Bai Ziqing also revealed a puzzled expression and asked, The poison Tao insight might be terrifying, but the spiritual fish's bloodline is even more powerful. It is enough to restrain the corrosion of the poison Tao insight. Yi Qinfeng explained softly. As he spoke, the spiritual fish sent out 2 more palm strikes at the Sky Poison Elder, attacking the severely injured Sky Poison Elder. The terrifying palm force directly collapsed the mountain and ruthlessly smashed the Sky Poison Elder into the ground. All the bones in his body were almost completely shattered, and he lost the ability to resist. The sky poison elder was severely injured, and he summoned poisonous insects to scatter. Soon, the entire mountain forest regained its tranquility. Soul Search. Yi Qinfeng didn't talk nonsense with the sky poison elder. He controlled the dual-extremity ancient heavenly water to freeze the sky poison elder's body and borrowed the power of the God-Eater brain to press on the sky poison elder's head and perform a soul search. Yes, a restriction. There's also a restriction in his mind. When the God-Eater brain's power penetrated into the sky poison elder's soul sea, it accidentally touched the restriction hidden in his soul sea. Then the restriction power exploded, directly blowing the sky poison elder's head to pieces and killing him. Could it be that the Dark Azura Hall's attack on the Bai family wasn't their intention, but was ordered by someone else? Is the Dark Azura Hall actually being controlled? The restriction in the sky poison elder's mind was exactly the same as the restriction in the mind of the Dark Azura Hall expert he captured outside the Snowfall City. This caused Yi Qinfeng to have many speculations, and he increasingly felt that the conspiracy shrouding the Xingluo continent was not simple. There was a huge hidden danger. However, Yi Qinfeng still couldn't confirm whether the mastermind behind the conspiracy was the Octave Divine Kingdom. There are many poisons and antidotes, 300 million medium soul crystals, 8 million high soul crystals, 7 stalks of insect luring grass, and this is the insect controlling technique. When Yi Qinfeng checked the sky poison elder's belongings, he found a large amount of poison pills, antidotes, and the insect controlling technique. However, other than these things, Yi Qinfeng didn't find anything else of value, let alone any information about the mastermind. Ziqing, I have a feeling that the sky poison elder wasn't sent by the Dark Azura Hall to kill you, Yi Qinfeng slowly said as he put the sky poison elder's belongings into the universal mirror. It can't be. By Ziqing and the rest's expressions changed. I feel that the Dark Azura Hall's war with your Bai family was ordered by someone. There's probably a mastermind behind this. And if my guess is correct, you will only be in more danger if you go to the Jiang family. The Jiang family's situation shouldn't be good either. Yi Qinfeng continued. This, after listening to Yi Qinfeng's analysis, Bai Ziqing and the rest were in disarray. Moreover, the series of unforeseen events made them feel that something wasn't right. This is only my analysis and guess, not the truth. However, when we reach the Jiang family, we should be able to confirm my guess. If something really happened to the Jiang family, then it proves that there's a mastermind behind the Dark Azura Hall. Otherwise, the Dark Azura Hall alone wouldn't dare to openly start a war. After saying this, Yi Qinfeng didn't waste any more time. He led the worried and restless Bai Ziqing and the rest through the pitch-black night sky toward the myriad cloud city. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 780. The Thousand Cloud City was one of the oldest and most famous cities on the Xingluo continent. The Thousand Cloud City was famous because it was the headquarters of the Jiang family. It occupied one of the spirit veins in the Xingluo Sky City. Almost all the experts of the Jiang family lived in the Thousand Cloud City. We are here. The Thousand Cloud City is just ahead. After traveling for 10-odd days, the travel-worn Yi Qinfeng's group finally arrived at the outskirts of 10,000 Cloud City. From a distance, they saw the extremely luxurious 10,000 Cloud City, which was enveloped by clouds and took up a lot of land. Stop! Who are you? What are you doing in the 1,000 Cloud City? When Yi Qinfeng and the others arrived at the gate of the City of 1,000 Clouds, which was several dozen meters tall and made from an entire piece of priceless Vajra-white jade, they were immediately stopped by several guards of the Jiang family, who wore golden armor and held sharp robes in their hands. I am the young mistress of the Bai family. I am here to discuss something with the Jiang family head. Bai Ziqing took out her identity token from her bosom and revealed her identity. The Bai family. The guards in golden armor frowned slightly. They communicated with each other and said, "You may enter the city." After speaking, the golden-armored guards opened a path for Yi Qinfeng's group, allowing them to enter the bustling 10,000 Cloud City. There were many buildings, shops, and white banyan trees planted on both sides of the streets. Although I don't want my guess to be true, judging from the expressions of those Jiang family guards just now, something must have happened to the Jiang family. Otherwise, those guards wouldn't be so distant and cold after knowing your identity. Yi Qinfeng's expression turned serious as he walked toward the Jiang family mansion in the center of the city. If he guessed correctly, the situation would become serious and complicated. Even with Yi Qinfeng's strength, he still felt a bit of pressure when facing the mastermind behind the scenes who was trying to overthrow the star Luo continent. Furthermore, that mastermind was more likely to affect his plan to dominate the star Luo heavenly city. Then what should we do? The Jiang clan is the last hope of our Bai clan. If something happens to the Jiang clan, our Bai clan will be doomed, Bai Ziqing said anxiously. Since we're already here, let's take things as they come. Maybe things aren't as bad as we think. Let's wait until we see great ancestor Jiang and family head Jiang first. Yi Qinfeng looked at the pale-faced Bai Ziqing and her sister and comforted them softly. Then they followed a straight path and arrived at the Jiang clan's old residence, which was enveloped by a terrifying restriction. I'm Bai Ziqing, the eldest daughter of the Bai clan. I have an important matter to report to the Jiang clan's great ancestor. Bai Ziqing stood outside the heavily guarded Jiang clan manor and revealed her identity. She was neither haughty nor humble. Someone from the Bai family? The Jiang clan's guard sized up Bai Ziqing and hesitated for a moment before saying, "Wait here and don't move. I'll report this to the head butler." With that, a Jiang clan's guard with a strong aura pushed open the bronze gate inlaid with 2 lion heads and walked into the Jiang clan manor to report this. After a while, a silver-haired old man in a green robe with a long white beard and a face full of red light walked out with a tiger step. When he saw Bai Ziqing and her sister, a rare smile appeared on his cold face. He said softly, "Ziqing, why have you come from so far away?" "Uncle Jiang, we came here for a very important matter. I wonder if Uncle Jiang can bring us to see great ancestor Jiang and family head Jiang." The Bai clan and Jiang clan had a good relationship, so Bai Ziqing and her sister knew head butler Jiang. Great ancestor Jiang and family head Jiang are in seclusion. Right now, everything in the Jiang clan is temporarily managed by the second family head. Head butler Jiang said, "Come with me. I'll bring you to see the second family head." With that, head butler Jiang opened a crack in the restriction and brought Yi Qinfeng and the others into the Jiang clan's manor, which was filled with green bamboos in the front yard. After passing through a winding corridor, Yi Qinfeng saw that the Jiang clan's manor was exquisitely built. There were pavilions, terraces, and pavilions hidden between the green bamboos. Towering ancient trees decorated the manor. Amidst the flourishing vitality, cute and obedient spirit beasts could be seen from time to time, adding a bit of a celestial aura to the manor. The second family head is in the main hall. If there's anything important, you can just tell him. After passing through the green scenery, Yi Qinfeng saw a main hall with intersecting arches and yellow tiles. Within the main hall, Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul could feel a vigorous aura. Grade 4 Combat Beast Emperor. Yi Qinfeng's eyebrows twitched slightly. He was a little surprised by the second family head's strength. Second family head, by clans Bai Ziqing and by you request an audience. Standing outside the golden main hall, head butler Jiang respectfully reported. "It's Ziqing, you are. Come in." A vigorous voice resounded from the main hall. "Ziqing, you are greets Uncle Wu." After entering the luxuriously decorated main hall, Bai Ziqing and Bai Yu quickly stepped forward and respectfully greeted Jiang Yiwu, who was wearing luxurious clothes and sitting in the middle of the main hall. Jiang Yiwu, who exuded a domineering aura, was sipping on his tea. Ziqing, did you come all the way to my Jiang clan because of the conflict between your Bai clan and the Dark Azure Hall? Jiang Yiwu ordered people to arrange seats for Yi Qinfeng and the others. He put down the teacup in his hand that was made from 10,000-year spirit bamboo and asked indifferently, "Yes, the Dark Azure Hall has gathered the Jasper Palace, and the Xiahou clan has attacked my Bai clan. Now that my Bai clan is in danger, I hope Uncle Yiwu can report to the Jiang forefather and ask him to come out of seclusion and uphold justice for my Bai clan." Bai Ziqing nodded and explained the purpose of their trip in detail. Ziqing, according to the relationship between our two great clans, my Jiang clan naturally won't sit idly by when something happens to your Bai clan. However, something happened to my Jiang clan not long ago, causing the forefather and my elder brother to enter seclusion. Without them at the helm, I really can't make the decision. Jiang Yiwu sighed softly and said with a troubled expression, "Uncle Yiwu, this matter is too serious. Once our Bai clan is destroyed, their next target will definitely be your Jiang clan. For the sake of our two clans' future, I hope that Uncle Yiwu can report this matter to the Jiang clan's great ancestor and Uncle Ishin," Bai Ziqing implored. As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng secretly observed Jiang Yiwu from the corner of his eye. From his indifferent and evasive attitude, Yi Qinfeng felt that there was something wrong with him. All right then. You can stay in my Jiang clan for now. I'll think of a way to inform the forefather and my elder brother and ask them to make a decision. Jiang Yiwu sighed softly. "Thank you, Uncle Yiwu," Bai Ziqing and her brother said gratefully. "Head steward, arrange a quiet room for them to rest in," Jiang Yiwu ordered. "Yes, second house lord." Head steward Jiang obeyed. "Please follow me." With that, head steward Jiang led Yi Qinfeng, Bai Ziqing, and the others out of the main hall. Jiang Yiwu's expression suddenly darkened as he watched Yi Qinfeng and the others leave. Rays of light shot out from his deep eyes as he revealed a strange smile. "P.S. Please cover the birthday cake. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support." Chapter 781. Qingfeng, do you think there's a problem with the Jiang clan? After great butler Jiang left, Bai Ziqing called Yi Qinfeng to her room and set up a soundproof restriction. She bit her lips lightly and asked with a serious expression, "There's a problem." Yi Qinfeng nodded. "What's the problem?" Bai Ziqing's heart tightened as she asked. "The biggest problem is that Jiang Yiwu, apart from him, the Jiang clan head and ancestor Jiang are also in seclusion." Yi Qinfeng said slowly, just as he said, "With the relationship between your Bai clan and the Jiang clan will definitely not sit by and do nothing if they know that your Bai clan is in trouble. However, Jiang Yiwu is deliberately delaying it. This is enough to prove that there's a problem with him. Moreover, it's not normal for the Jiang clan head and ancestor Jiang to be in seclusion at this time. I'm guessing that they're either under someone's control or they're seriously injured and are in seclusion to recuperate. Then what should we do? If there's really a problem with Jiang Yiwu and he's deliberately delaying it, we can't afford to wait," Bai Ziqing said anxiously. "Don't be hasty. If I'm not wrong, Jiang Yiwu will definitely take action against us. Let's see what he's capable of first and figure out what he's capable of," Yi Qinfeng said calmly. "Thank you, Qinfeng. Without your help, I really don't know what would have happened." Bai Ziqing looked at Yi Qinfeng and her uneasy heart calmed down. "If you really want to thank me, you can thank me after I've helped your Bai clan resolve the real crisis." Yi Chen-feng said with a faint smile. And as long as my Bai clan survives this calamity, I promise to repay your kindness with everything I have. Bai Ziqing nodded and promised. Don't think too much. Have a good rest and leave everything to me. With that, Yi Chen-feng left Bai Ziqing's room and called the King of Massacre and Fu Qingshan together to discuss the plan. Soon, the sky gradually darkened. Under Jiang Yiwu's instructions, the Bai family prepared a sumptuous feast to entertain Bai Ziqing and her companions. However, as the host, Jiang Yiwu did not appear. He only arranged for a few juniors of the Jiang family to accompany them and entertain them. Ziqing, it's been many years since we last met. Not only has your strength improved a lot, you've also grown more and more beautiful. Come, let me toast you too. A prodigy of the Jiang clan, who was dressed in a luxurious robe and had a tall and straight figure like a cypress pine, looked at Bai Ziqing and Bai Yu with a fiery gaze and raised his wine cup high. He gave off an unruly aura and gave off a feeling of arrogance. Compared to brother Jiang Hong, we are still far from it. Bai Ziqing pursed her lips and took a small sip of the fragrant wine. After 3 rounds of wine and 5 dishes, the geniuses of the Jiang clan, who had drunk a lot of wine, became a little impudent. Their naked eyes constantly swept over Bai Ziqing and the other girls' hot bodies, and the topic became sensitive and targeted. Thank you for your hospitality. It's getting late, so we'll be going back to rest. Suppressing the anger in her heart, Bai Ziqing stood up slowly and wanted to leave with everyone. Little sister Ziqing, we were just having a good chat. Why are you leaving? Aren't you being a wet blanket? Jiang Hong, who was slightly tipsy, stood in front of Bai Ziqing and Bai Yu. Looking at their beautiful faces and sexy bodies, he said with a heavy drunkenness, "Let's play for a while more." As he spoke, he reached out to grab Bai Ziqing's smooth and tender breasts. "Get your dirty hands off me." Bai Yu, who was suppressing her anger, slapped Jiang Hong's hand away and warned him coldly, "You have a personality. I like it." Jiang Hong's lips curled up slightly as he looked at Bai Yu's tender face with a fiery gaze. He said with evil intentions, "Why don't you stay and play with us?" The anger in Bai Yu's heart was ignited, and her entire body was trembling. The fury in her eyes seemed to want to melt Jiang Hong. "Why, you're not willing?" Jiang Hong said mockingly, "How about this? Let's have a competition. If you win, I'll let you do whatever you want of me. If you lose, you'll have to spend the night with me. Go to hell." Hearing Jiang Hong's humiliation, Bai Yu could no longer control the anger in her heart and was about to make a move. But at this moment, a strong hand pressed down on Bai Yu's shoulder and said softly, "Stand aside obediently. Let me do it." Yi Chen-feng. Yi Chen-feng's voice echoed in Bai Yu's ears. She immediately turned her head. When she saw Yi Chen-feng's chiseled features and the domineering aura in his eyes, the anger in her heart suddenly dissipated. She realized that Yi Chen-feng was extremely manly at this moment, and she was mesmerized by him. "Damn it, who are you? Since when did you have the right to speak here?" Looking at Yi Chen-feng's unfamiliar face, Jiang Hong, who was a level 3 reverse beast king, was infuriated and scolded angrily. Smack! As soon as Jiang Hong finished his words, a shadow flashed in front of his eyes. The next moment, a clear and crisp sound rang out. Jiang Hong felt a huge force ruthlessly slap his face, sending him flying. His body was like a kite with a broken string, drawing a beautiful arc in the air before landing heavily on the ground. 2 blood-stained teeth fell out of his mouth, and his entire face swelled up instantly. "Damn it, I'm going to kill you." As a genius of the Jiang family, Jiang Hong had never suffered such humiliation. Like an angry lion, he got up from the ground and merged with the power of his spiritual beast. He launched an attack at Yi Chen-feng, wanting to kill Yi Chen-feng and wash away the humiliation. Smack! When the enraged Jiang Hong got close to him, Yi Chen-feng waved his arm again and slapped Jiang Hong's face as fast as lightning. Before Jiang Hong could react, he was once again sent flying by Yi Qinfeng's slap. A large amount of blood flowed out uncontrollably from his 7 orifices, and he felt a little dizzy. You can't even touch my body, let alone kill me. Yi Qinfeng placed his hands behind his back and looked at Jiang Hong, who was bleeding profusely, arrogantly. Go to hell. Looking at Yi Qinfeng's arrogant eyes, Jiang Hong was furious. He roared angrily, activated his spiritual beast bloodline, and used his strongest soul skill to attack Yi Qinfeng. In an instant, Jiang Hong turned into a fierce hurricane, and the whole space trembled under his full-strength attack. But when his soul skill approached Yi Qinfeng slapped him a 3rd time. While crushing the soul skill, he was sent flying for the 3rd time. More than 10 of his teeth were broken, and his entire face was swollen like a bun. He was almost unrecognizable. Goo! Seeing the level 3 reverse beast king Jiang Hong being sent flying by Yi Qinfeng again and again, the Jiang family's disciples were so shocked that their eyeballs almost fell out of their sockets. They were all stunned by Yi Qinfeng's shocking strength. Not only did no one help, but they were so scared that they kept retreating, afraid that Yi Qinfeng would attack them. Are you still going to continue the competition? If not, we'll leave. Yi Qinfeng looked at Jiang Hong, who was in so much pain that he was crying, and asked deliberately, You? Although Jiang Hong wanted to tear Yi Qinfeng into pieces, he could only grit his teeth and swallow his anger after seeing the huge difference in strength. He didn't dare to provoke him again. Okay, we've eaten and slapped you. Let's go. Yi Qinfeng looked at the aggrieved Jiang Hong and left him with a sentence that nearly made him vomit blood. Then he left the somewhat stifling atmosphere of the banquet hall with the 2 beautiful sisters smiling sweetly. Remember the website, Sanwu Chinese Network. Chapter 782. Chengfeng, thank you. Thank you for protecting me and my sister and teaching those lawless fellows a lesson. After returning to the room where they were resting, Baiyu's delicate face suddenly flushed red. She looked at Yi Qinfeng with a gentle gaze and thanked him softly. The problem is not solved yet. Both of you are poisoned. Yi Qinfeng looked at the beautiful and tall sisters and said softly, Poisoned. Just as Yi Qinfeng finished speaking, Bai Ziqing and her sister's expressions changed at the same time. They quickly checked their bodies. There's no need to check. This poison is colorless and odorless. With your strength, you won't be able to detect it. Yi Qinfeng said softly when he saw the 2 panicking ladies. Come, take these 2 antidotes. As for the remaining antidotes, find a reason to give them to your Bai clan. Remember, don't spread the news of you being poisoned to avoid accidents. Yi Qinfeng took out 2 detoxification pills and fed them to Bai Ziqing, and Bai Ziqing before giving them another bottle of detoxification pills. Qingfeng, as you guessed, the Jiang clan is indeed in trouble. What should we do? After taking the antidotes, Bai Ziqing asked worriedly, I plan to visit the Jiang clan's founding ancestor at night and find out what he is thinking. Yi Qinfeng said slowly, Chengfeng, isn't that too dangerous? Jiang Taizu's attack power is the strongest in the Xingluo continent. If he is controlled, I'm afraid something unexpected will happen when you visit him at night. Bai Ziqing said worriedly, Jiang Taizu shouldn't be controlled, and the Jiang clan shouldn't be controlled by the mastermind. Otherwise, Jiang Yiwu would have already dealt with us and wouldn't use such despicable methods like poisoning us. All right, you 2 rest early. I'll inform you immediately if there's any news. After saying that, Yi Qinfeng left the 2 ladies' room and returned to his room to wait for the night to quiet down. Although Jiang Hong and the others had suffered a great loss and lost all face, they did not come looking for trouble with Yi Qinfeng. It was obvious that Jiang Yiwu did not want to have a direct conflict with the Bai family before he completely controlled the Jiang family. However, Jiang Yiwu wouldn't let Bai Ziqing stay in the Jiang family for long. He would even use some tricks to force them out and deal with them outside. The night fog came and covered the stars in the sky. The world was silent. Whoosh! A blurry shadow appeared in the Jiang family's old residence, which was shrouded in darkness. It moved quickly like a ghost. Where will Jiang Taizu be in seclusion? There were many restrictive spells in the Jiang family's old mansion, which prevented Yi Qinfeng from using his soul power to detect where Kong Sungqin was cultivating in seclusion. Although he couldn't find Kong Sungqin's place of seclusion, Yi Qinfeng unexpectedly discovered Grand Butler Jiang walking out of a beautiful young woman's room. He restrained his aura and quietly followed him. What? Grand Butler Jiang, who was reminiscing, had just walked to his courtyard and activated the restrictive spells in the courtyard when he suddenly felt an unfamiliar aura behind him. All the hair on his body stood up, and he was about to roar. However, just as his roar reached his throat, the dual polarity ancient heavenly water entered his mouth and froze his throat, causing his roar to be stuck in his throat. In the next moment, the Tao intent of the 5 elements and the Tao intent of life and death gushed out of Yi Qinfeng's body and transformed into a huge Tao intent hand. It ruthlessly slammed onto Grand Butler Jiang's body, shattering his body's defenses and causing him to fall to the ground. More than half of his bones were shattered, and he instantly lost his ability to fight. It's him, Grand Butler Jiang, who was lying in a pool of blood and couldn't make a sound, tried his best to lift his head. When he saw Yi Qinfeng clearly with the help of the faint moonlight, his eyes suddenly widened. He never expected that Yi Qinfeng would be so daring. After teaching Jiang Hong a lesson, he still dared to launch a sneak attack on him. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to provoke a war between my Jiang clan and your Bai clan? With his throat sealed by the dual polarity ancient heavenly water, Grand Butler Jiang could only send a voice transmission to warn Yi Qinfeng and seek a trace of survival. However, Yi Qinfeng didn't waste time talking nonsense with Grand Butler Jiang. His body flashed slightly and appeared behind him. He pressed his right hand on Grand Butler Jiang's head and used the power of the God-Eater brain to search his soul. Fortunately, there is no soul imprint in his soul sea. When Yi Qinfeng controlled the power of the God-Eater brain to carefully search his soul, he discovered that there was no imprint in Grand Butler Jiang's soul. He heaved a sigh of relief and increased the power of the soul search to search for Grand Butler Jiang's soul imprint. Just as I guessed, the Jiang clan was infiltrated by a mysterious faction. Jiang Taizu Kong Sungqin and Jiang clan Patriarch Jiang Yixin were both injured. Jiang Yiwu, who was temporarily in charge of the Jiang clan, secretly submitted to the mysterious faction. After searching Grand Butler Jiang's soul memories, Yi Qinfeng obtained a lot of important information and confirmed some of his earlier guesses. There was a mysterious and powerful faction behind the scenes that was adding fuel to the fire. They were trying to stir up chaos in the Xingluo continent and change the structure of the Xingluo continent. This mastermind wasn't Xingluo Heaven City, but it wasn't the 8 branches divine nation either. Yi Qinfeng didn't find any evidence in Grand Butler Jiang's soul. Crack! Yi Qinfeng used the soul-devouring art and devoured Grand Butler Jiang's soul spirit beast. He twisted Grand Butler Jiang's neck and spat out the death blaze, burning Grand Butler Jiang to ashes. Yi Qinfeng killed Grand Butler Jiang because he discovered that Grand Butler Jiang and Jiang Yiwu had done too many evil things during the soul search. It wouldn't be too much to kill Grand Butler Jiang 100 times over for those things. After destroying Grand Butler Jiang's corpse, Yi Qinfeng tore open the restrictions in the courtyard. Like an elusive ghost, he quietly went to the courtyard where Jiang Taizu, Kong Sungqin, was recuperating. With the help of the space swallower bug, Yi Qinfeng silently broke through several restrictions in the courtyard and arrived at the Jiang family's backyard. He saw an extremely ordinary-looking thatched hut made of straw. When Yi Qinfeng got close to the thatched hut, he felt a mountain-like aura appear out of nowhere. It pressed down on his body like an avalanche, bending his waist and pressing his legs into the ground. What a terrifying aura! Yi Qinfeng's body continued to sink under the pressure of this aura. He hurriedly activated the Divine Nine Transformations transformation and unleashed a powerful physical strength to resist the mountain-like pressure. However, Yi Qinfeng was shocked by Kong Sungqin's strength. Kong Sungqin's strength was unfathomable. Kong Sungqin was still able to use his aura to pressure Yi Qinfeng even though he was injured. "Senior, I have no ill intentions for suddenly visiting. I am here to treat your injuries and resolve the Jiang family's crisis. Please show yourself." Yi Qinfeng said calmly as he withstood the powerful aura pressure. "I am in the hut. If you want to see me, come here yourself." An old and simple voice came from the thatched hut. "All right." Yi Qinfeng took a deep breath and pulled his legs out of the ground. He walked with heavy steps towards the thatched hut. Restriction. When he arrived in front of the thatched hut, Yi Qinfeng felt a powerful restriction shrouding the hut. If he wanted to enter the hut, he would have to tear open the restriction. Sword Dao Intent Break. Yi Qinfeng gathered the 6th level of Sword Dao Intent on his fingertip. With a light stroke, a sharp sword ray condensed and tore open the restriction. He pushed open the door that was badly chipped and walked into the faintly glowing thatched hut. He saw Star King Kong Sungqin sitting cross-legged on a piece of 10,000 years mysterious jade. He was wearing a white star-patterned martial arts suit with his snow-white hair casually draped over his shoulders. His eyes were closed, and his aura was fused with the air. Mobile users, please browse to M. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 783. Sit. Jiang Xingqian opened his eyes, and rays of dazzling starlight shot out from them. He sized up Yi Qinfeng a few times and discovered that his temperament was natural and outstanding. His body exuded an aura of superiority. Jiang Xingqian nodded his head and pointed at an ancient tree stump in the room as he slowly said, "Yi Qinfeng." "Thank you, Senior." Yi Qinfeng thanked him softly and sat on the stump. Suddenly, he felt a wisp of wood spiritual qi penetrating the stump and entering his body. It made all the cells in his body active, and it was very comfortable. "You're not from the Bai family, right?" Kong Sungqin asked. When Yi Qinfeng came to the Jiang residence with Bai Ziqing and the others, Kong Sungqin, who had a strong soul, already knew about it, including how he humiliated Jiang Han and killed the butler. It was also because Yi Qinfeng killed the butler that Kong Sungqin decided to meet him. Yi Qinfeng nodded and said, "Yes, I'm not from the Bai family, but the Bai family has been kind to me. In order to repay the Bai family's kindness, I specially protected Ziqing and the others and came to the Jiang residence to ask for help." "You're loyal and affectionate. You're very good." Kong Sungqin nodded and asked meaningfully, "But after coming to the Jiang residence, did you feel despair?" "No." Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said, "Before I came, I had already prepared for the worst. Judging from the Jiang residence's current situation, it's better than I expected." "Junior, the Jiang residence's situation may be worse than what you see. Now that you've killed the butler of the Jiang residence, I'm afraid it will cause a series of unforeseen events." Kong Sungqin said indifferently, "Senior, things may not be as bad as you think. As long as you and the Jiang residents recover from your injuries, you can control the situation and turn the tide." Yi Qinfeng said, "Ah, it's easier said than done to recover." Kong Sungqin sighed softly. "Senior, if you trust me, I can help you get rid of the poison." Yi Qinfeng's powerful soul had already sensed that Kong Sungqin's injuries were not serious. The real fatal thing was the extremely stubborn poison that had invaded his bones and blood. You can sense that I'm poisoned? Kong Sun-chin's snow-white eyebrows twitched slightly as he asked in surprise. Not only can I sense that you're poisoned, but I can also feel that although you've been suppressing it with all your might, the poison in your blood and bone. In less than 3 months, the poison will completely explode. At that time, you will be incurable. Yi, said Kong Sun-chin. Good eyesight. Just your eyesight alone has surpassed many so-called genius doctors. However, the poison in my body was left behind by an expert who had cultivated the poisoned-out insight to the 7th level. It's almost incurable. The admiration in Kong Sun-chin's eyes deepened as he slowly said, Incurable doesn't mean that there's no hope. I have a way to get rid of the poison in your body, but it's a little risky. I wonder if you're willing to take the risk and give it a try? Yi Chinfeng asked. What way? Kong Sun-chin's eyes lit up as he looked at Yi Chinfeng and asked, Use the heavenly flame to refine the poison in your body. As he spoke, the death blaze heavenly flame emerged from Yi Chinfeng's palm, and the temperature in the thatched hut instantly rose. Heavenly flame, you actually subdued a type of heavenly flame. Looking at the death blaze heavenly flame that was leaping about in Yi Chinfeng's palm like a fire spirit, Kong Sun-chin's calm face couldn't help but reveal an expression of shock. Moreover, he felt that the heavenly flame that Yi Chinfeng had subdued was not an ordinary heavenly flame. It was an extremely terrifying heavenly flame that even he felt a trace of danger. Junior, you're really surprising me more and more. Borrowing the power of the heavenly flame, there's indeed a chance to get rid of the poison. I'll leave these old bones of mine to you. Kong Sun-chin revealed a rare smile as he spoke. Senior, aren't you going to ask me how confident I am in getting rid of the poison? Yi Chinfeng asked with a smile. No, there's no need to ask. No matter what the result is, I can accept it. Kong Sun-chin shook his head and said in a carefree manner, If that's the case, then let's begin. Yi Chinfeng slowly stood up and said, Thank you for your trouble. Kong Sun-chin nodded and slowly turned around. He was very relieved to have his back facing Yi Chinfeng. His carefree behavior made Yi Chinfeng admire him. It also showed that he was confident in his own strength. Senior, the process of refining the poison with the heavenly flame may be a little painful. Please bear with it. Yi Chinfeng reminded him softly. Don't worry about refining the poison. I can still bear the pain of refining the poison. Kong Sun-chin said fearlessly, Okay. Yi Chinfeng took a deep breath and controlled the death blaze heavenly flame to burn more and more fiercely. It burned the air, and there were continuous sounds of explosions. In the next moment, the death blaze heavenly flame exploded in Yi Chinfeng's palm. Under his control, it was like a big devouring mouth that directly swallowed Kong Sun-chin. It went through the pores of his body and crazily drilled into his body. Instantly, Kong Sun-chin's body suddenly trembled. However, there wasn't a trace of pain on his face. Even his eyebrows didn't twitch. A large amount of death blaze, heavenly flame, surged into Kong Sun-chin's body. Immediately, under the control of Yi Chinfeng's will, it drilled into the crisscrossing meridians in Kong Sun-chin's body and refined the lethal poison that had fused into his blood. As expected of a poison left behind by a 7th level Tao insight of poison, it's really troublesome. While refining the lethal poison in Kong Sun-chin's body, Yi Chinfeng's brows gradually furrowed. He noticed that the poison in Kong Sun-chin's body was deeper than he expected. Moreover, the lethal poison in Kong Sun-chin's body was extremely stubborn. It was rather strenuous for the death blaze heavenly flame to refine it. Looks like it's impossible to cure Jiang Taizu in one go. Yi Chinfeng silently muttered a few times in his heart. He patiently controlled the death blaze heavenly flame to continue refining the poison for Kong Sun-chin. As time passed by, traces of pain gradually appeared on Kong Sun-chin's cold and arrogant face. He couldn't help but clench his fists, causing his veins to bulge. Approximately 6 hours later, the sky turned bright. Yi Chen Feng withdrew the death blaze, heavenly flame in Kong Sunchin's body and let out a long sigh of relief. Senior, feel it and see how it feels. Yi Chen Feng looked at Kong Sunchin, whose forehead was covered with beads of sweat and whose complexion was slightly pale, and said softly, "Thank you. I feel that the poison in my body has been reduced by nearly half. Looks like your method is really effective." Kong Sunchin spat out a mouthful of turbid air and thanked him softly. "Senior, let's stop refining the poison here. I'll come again tonight to refine the poison and heal your injuries." Yi Chen Feng glanced at the faint light that penetrated through the window and said softly, "Thank you for your trouble." Kong Sunchin nodded and promised, "As long as you can solve the crisis of my Jiang clan, I promise that the entire Jiang clan will do everything in our power to help the Bai clan through this difficult time." "I'll thank Senior on behalf of Ziqing and the others." Yi Chen Feng smiled and thanked him softly. "By the way, can you tell me your name?" Kong Sunchin took the initiative to ask for the name of a junior for the first time. "Yi Chen Feng." Yi Chen Feng didn't hide anything and said truthfully, "Chen Feng, this is the star token unique to my Jiang clan. With this token, the Jiang clan's restrictions will not affect you. You can come and go as you wish." Kong Sunchin gave the purple gold token to Yi Chen Feng. "Senior, it's almost dawn. I'll go back first." After saying that, Yi Chen Feng didn't stay for long. He put the star token into his arms and left Kong Sunchin's thatched cottage in a flash. Like an unpredictable ghost, he bypassed many checkpoints and quietly returned to the courtyard where he was resting. Mobile users, please browse to M. Reading. Mobile reader's homepage. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.